Welcome back to Dice Revolution after what seems like forever, but is just under a month. We are down, unfortunately, Romy today, and Stuart will be joining us very soon. I'm sure he's driving very fast but very safely, and if not, we will scold him later.
We don't condone safety. Danger driving.
And he's like crashing into the building. I got it.
But only for a good cause.
He's going to drift in through that door.
But I will use it.
We are joined with Alex, Olivia, Rain, Jordan, Hamish, and Devin. And as I said, Stuart will be here soon. I will quickly mention that we are affiliated with the Adelaide Games Club.
Whoa.
Yes, the Games Club. Oh, it's been so long. We're with the Adelaide Games Club, which is a board game club here at the University of Adelaide. So if you enjoy board games, tabletop games, hanging out with cool people, then it's the perfect place to come to. We get together every Wednesday, Friday, and sometimes on Sundays at the Hartley Building at the University of Adelaide. So if you like board games, you live in Adelaide, come on down to the Hartley Building, and people will welcome you with open arms. If you need a recommendation for a board game to play, all you gotta do is wait till the end of the stream, and our DM, Thea, will be giving us a board game for you to play. So stick around for that.
Unless I say it first.
Unless I say it first.
I'll just have to get on top of it now. Board game recommendation.
Oh dear.
Anyway, let's jump into a recap. So, at the start of the last session, you guys were partially dealing with the harrowing death and subsequent revival of one Tywin Sure Shot. You guys found Drusa, your quarry, for quite some time now. One of you also found a beholder trapped inside one of the vats. And
Mutated child.
Mutated child.
Yeah.
Well, it was labeled beholder, so you guys know it's a beholder.
That could have been its name.
Perhaps. Then I'm referring to it by its name. You guys found the beholder trapped in one of the vats similar to the other children and tried to free it. To some degree of success. While it was unconscious, you tried to help it exit with the rest of the children that you had rescued. Unfortunately, the building was set into a lockdown and an imminent implosion, and the beholder was unable to be saved. You guys head back to your respective places of rest. Solomon carrying an unconscious, thoroughly exhausted Tywin back from the warehouse, and there you make rest, and through which your Tabaxi monk Mali has some shared vision with the child that you've been searching for. These visions depict something you had already theorized would be happening sometime relatively soon. The entire city that you're currently in disappearing. Furthermore, you guys then decide that while you have these few days to yourself and you're waiting for the guards to arrive to escort Rusa back to her home city, that you just tend to some personal matters. And as you do so, we have just completed day one of this downtime. So while we're waiting for Stuart, if you guys want to get into possibly a day two, make sure you've marked off a long rest and such.
Thank you.
So we can might as well get
Definitely
full
needed
rest.
that.
Oh yeah, you got into a spa, didn't
In which
you?
case, what would be the difference between a long rest and a full rest?
A long rest restores half your hit dice. A full rest would be 2 long rests.
I thought it was longer than that, like a full
Is this
week
the
or
long
so.
rest I already rolled for or not?
This will be the rest you roll for, yes.
Okay.
Do I still have inspiration from the previous session?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's it, I'm good.
Sure.
I say yeah, sure, because I know you'll forget to use it.
I will. It'll just kind of be here.
Yes. At the end of the campaign, you'll look at it and be like,
Oh, I have an inspiration.
yes. Okay. So we'll just go around the table. Furthermore, just as an addendum on the recap, the session also ended with Marty receiving a few visions as Rusa had finally pushed past the crowd of people to go visit an unconscious Tywin, and started faintly glowing with various colors. And so Marley decided to interact with Rusa and had another vision, which I believe has been relayed to all of you, that the city that you're currently in disappears in 5 days, which is 4 days from
Now 4 days.
Yeah, so it is as you wake up this morning, you know that it is 4 days away. So Tywin is also conscious. Whether you want to do something with that, feel free to do that.
Good to know.
You also have a movement speed now.
Oh my god, you can
Gotta be
go
crawling
into
around.
rehabilitation.
You mental.
But yeah, if there are no volunteers specifically, we can just go around the table clockwise.
Smart. As to what's been happening in the downtime,
Yeah. So what have you specifically been doing?
I'll basically put down what I guess I wrote a while back. Marley's basically just spent a significant amount of time with Risa trying to cheer up and had her experience, the various joys of life that she wasn't able to otherwise partake in, seeing as, held captive for a long time. So, but Marley would equally try to kind of indulge in those experiences as well. So it's like, you haven't experienced this? Great, let me show you this. This is actually also an opportunity for me to do this stuff, so yeah.
Yeah, so just feel free to roll a general charisma check with advantage.
Yeah, as to how I kind of get along.
Yeah, how you mesh with the child.
TM. And TM. So far, I'm feeling like it's going to be a 10.
Sure.
That makes me
So,
say it.
anything else you want to do over the coming days? You do have a few days, so...
Yeah, the emphasis would have been on Marley trying to bond with Rusa. So trying to get her to, if not open up, try to help Rusa understand her abilities.
I mean,
and how that can
it's not so much that
relate.
Rusa won't open up, it's that Rusa doesn't know what she's supposed to be opening up about.
Yeah, so
she doesn't
exploring
remember
opportunities to
She doesn't
explore
remember
that.
anything from her captivity, essentially. She was kept mostly sedated because anytime she was awake, she would wreak havoc on the scientists
So I
experimenting.
tried
on
to keep her
so
unconscious.
Yes. So yeah, there's not much she can open up about, but she with a 10, she seems to be willing to engage in conversation and is not completely shut off, basically.
Yeah. Apart from that, also just playfully sparring with Rusa, seeing as, where she's a high value target that could use some
Fair.
decent amount of self-defense.
Okay. Okay. In which case, try.
So one of the first things that Trey is most probably going to do is try and find some way to get into contact with the orphanage that
Okay.
she came from.
Would
More specifically, she wants to try
direct
and-
communication. You could. So if you're looking for direct communication, you'd probably go to basically what is an array. It's a building with lots and lots of people at basically these crystal slabs, and basically they're the very 1940s-esque war radio room basically, and they're basically casting mass amounts of sending. You could, if you're trying to get it to the orphanage, very easily, maybe about 3 gold to get a message sent there, and you have to phrase it's 3 words for every 25 words you send. So 3 gold for every 25 words you send.
Right. Good
Because
to
that's
know.
another casting and sending.
Yeah.
And you get 25 words back.
Well, I'm not going to do that now.
Yes, just
I'm
think
gonna
about what
do
you want to
that.
send and you either let me know or...
I'm going to do that later.
Okay.
And then go to either a bookstore or a library and pick up a book on Oren.
Lauren?
Yeah.
Make an investigation check.
Okay. A 4?
Unfortunately, on the first day, you don't have much luck.
Yeah.
Orin, while more common than, Infernal or Celestial or stuff like that, is still a rare language since it's considered part of Primordial. So, yeah, no, your first day doesn't really yield much. You can try again on the future day if you so choose.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah, sure. Then make an investigation check.
That's a 12.
Yeah, with a 12, you can easily, maybe more like a secluded bookshop in the city.
Speak Oren.
Yeah, but she's looking for a book, specifically.
Yeah.
We talked about this, and that you could learn faster if you talk to Luft about it. But yeah, you can find a book on Oren in a secluded bookstore. That would be 10 gold.
Yeah, that's all good.
for like a proper like basically textbook on Orange.
Yeah, nice. And then I'll pick up some more chicken green, and then it's basically going to be studying.
Yeah, like consider it like a week's worth of each week's worth that you want to buy. Just mark off like 5 silver for it.
Cool. So 10 silver is 1 gold, right?
Yes. So that's 2 weeks. So 1 gold is 2 weeks worth of chicken.
So I'm going to get 4 weeks worth.
4 weeks worth, yeah, so 2 gold.
And then, yeah, let me know when it hits the morning of the 11th,
Okay.
and then I'll do
I'm saying do all your downtime stuff except the 11th.
Yeah.
So I'll, for like 1 day, I'll use up the rest of my materials to make another healing potion.
Sure.
So that's 1 more. And for another thing, I wanted to talk to Trey and Solomon, so I could wait for Stuart.
Yeah, if you want to wait for that one
Yeah.
specifically, you can wait for Stuart to show up. Is there anything else that you want to tackle that you could do either with the people here or just stuff that you want to do on yourself?
Yes. Marley. Hello.
Okay,
Really good role playing so far.
what day do you reckon this would be? Would this be
This
relatively
would
early?
be-
So you've done day 1 already.
Yeah.
You did day 2 to craft the second potion.
Yeah.
So this is day 3.
Yeah, day 3, about like evening-ish,
Mhm.
kind of.
I-
I'm curious about this visions you have.
Honestly, I still kind of have no idea what they're about. So
Uh,
I mean,
So you've
I'm
never
assuming
been-
it would come to fruition, and that like I saw all of you in one of those visions before I actually met you. So like, I believe it to a degree, but also I'm still kind of skeptical. So I don't really know whether that's like fixed or whether like there's different possibilities. Because I think I saw one like that a while back, but yeah, I'm not sure what to make of them.
So you've never been trained, taught, or told anything
Oh.
about?
No. I spent the majority of my life just in a monastery. So like doing the same stuff day in, day out. And there was no visions involved.
Interesting. And you had a very special one from Rusa.
Yeah, the one I told you guys about earlier.
Yes.
The
Because
one where your friend seems to perish.
Yes, and the city.
We don't know that it'll come to pass.
Yes, but we did see evidence that they're planning to do that. So I think there might be some credibility to your visions, but it kind of scares me that we don't know where they're from.
I mean, I kind of think it's exciting. It's like, I don't know anything about it, but like it gives me a reason to try and get it somehow. I haven't figured that part out yet, but it's interesting.
Well, if you ever figure out anything about them,
Oh, believe me, you'll definitely know. Everyone will know.
thank you.
I will be pretty ecstatic, I think.
Also, more generally speaking, can I get everyone to roll this would be just a general perception check.
Perception?
Yes, and I'll roll for Solomon and Rift.
Far out, dude.
7.
Raise your hand if you roll above. You can roll for both your characters, by the way.
Oh,
Maybe I don't.
Tyrant's at disadvantage with 3 levels of exhaustion, I think.
2 levels.
2? Is it still disadvantaged?
At 2 levels of
I think it
exhaustion.
might be.
Saving throws.
does
I think
It's a
it
skill
is.
check.
Isn't the
Skill
Yeah,
check's
I
the
think
first
skill
level.
checks it, yeah.
Isn't the first one saving?
Awesome. Don't worry about it.
Ability checks.
Okay, so raise your
Sorry, I
hand.
got
I'm
if-
still blind.
I got you.
raise your hand if you rolled above a 15.
Yay, never!
Nat 20.
Yay!
That's 20.
Yay!
You of all people, as you go, like we'll come to this, but like as you go about your like downtime business, roaming the city, you notice a lot of those changes that were marked in at the Ethlak's house, like changing this road out, like laying the foundations of this road, these buildings, they're all underway, and they're all looking like they're on track, on schedule for what you assume to be the 11th. For example, you'll notice like similar to that ley line magic that you heard about, like they're replacing old roads with slightly adjusted ones to meet at the center of the city, so on and so forth. And yeah, everyone who rolled above 15, which would be Luft, Solomon, Mali, Nemu, and Calico? No. Okay, but yeah, 4 of you noticed it, and I'm sure Solomon and Luft would relay that information out to you guys that this is underway. So yeah, anything else you wanted to tackle Rain with you now?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah. Tywin and Sigmund.
So this is 4 days we're currently doing.
6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, got 4 days.
Alright, so 4 elixirs in that time, which will be a transformation one, a swiftness one, another swiftness, and a resilience.
Sure.
So as my boy with the giraffe, Sigmund, as he's working on Tywin, he's sort of messing around with different concoctions, seeing which ones burn whichever leaves he drops in the puddle. If a leaf burns, probably not good to put in a human body, so he doesn't do it. Eventually he finds one where the leaf goes in, it's like quite pristine, and the leaf actually slightly grows a little bit of a branch and some extra leaves on top of it. And so he's like, yes, alright, perfect. And he uncaps it, and he just puts one single drop at like the back of Tywin's throat, and immediately Tywin goes, and Tywin grabs Sigmund by the collar and pulls him in, and like reaches to the side, like feeling around for his crossbow. And Sigmund goes, very good. It seems you are awake. And Tywin goes, who the fuck? And he looks around and sees if anyone else is in the room. Is there anyone else that would be? This is on the 2nd day. Anyone else that would be in the room?
The giraffe.
Huh?
The giraffe.
Other than the giraffe.
Roosa? No.
Roosa's in and out when possible.
Yeah. Just give me a indication.
No, Roosa would be out with Marley as well.
Okay, so no one there. Okay. So he who the fuck are you? And Sigmund goes, well, it seems the elixir worked. How are you feeling, Tywin? He goes, you're the fucking dude from the Assassin's Guild. And he leans back and he goes, where are the others? Well, they have all gone out on their own endeavors, and I have been tasked with healing you. Alright. Well, just fucking don't stab shit into me. I don't want shit stabbed into me. And Sigmund brushes off the series of knives that's on his table, brushes it into a garbage can nearby. Very well then. And Giraffe jumps on his shoulder and grabs another healing potion. Grabs the healing potion that he only did the drop from and begins like pouring that into Tywin's mouth. So Sigmund is, now that Tywin is stable, he's let the giraffe do the pouring of the potions. Now that he's got all the potions set up, that he's just continuously pouring different potions into Tywin's mouth. So Sigmund, while that is happening, is going to continue to see if he can find information on the people who took the hit out on
Who hired Tywin to assassinate Teo?
that one.
Right, sure. Make a... You can choose. It can be either like an investigation check, or it can be like a charisma check of you like trying to like convince people to talk to you, and persuasion or investigation.
What would
Or intimidation if you choose, if that's the route you want to take.
Nah, he's not an intimidator. Mr. -1 intimidation. I'll just do investigation.
Sure.
Nat 20, 23.
Okay. So as you go about, talking to people and really listening in for those tells when they're lying to you, like you're very well versed at reading a person, their fears, their anxieties, what makes them tick as a person. You got that very medicinal look on someone.
Yeah, in terms of medicine, yes. I don't think it's actually.
This is an actual.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
In this situation, let's say yes.
Yeah.
Normally, he's got a 9 passive insight, but but yes, in this situation,
you've got a very keen read on someone, and as they talk to you, and you're piecing the information together, even with a nat 20, like you can tell that this hit was ordered on Taev from someone in the city that he lived in. Like that's like from Halin. That's where the hit was ordered from. And the other piece of information that you come across is that it's from the district that this individual comes from is like one of the, not the wealthy districts, but like one of the middle class districts, like really middle of the bank. And that's all you really discover about who called the hit on Taev.
That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Wonderful. In this time, Tywin is going to wait until Rusa enters the room for the first time. So whenever
Rusa would come in at some point just to check in on you.
Yeah.
Especially given the information that you are waking up.
So yeah, when Rusa comes in, he looks over and sees Rusa entering. What the fuck? Rusa! Rusa, come here.
Yeah, she gently walks over.
Fuck, is it really you? He like touches the side of her cheek.
Yeah, and like she's a bit older than you remember her being in the simulation. Definitely there are like some visible protrusions on her skin from where various medical apparatus was injected into her. Like there are scabs of where like skin samples and etc. were taken. Yeah.
Oh, thank Christ. Rusa, are you feeling okay?
I rested. I've been hanging out with Mali recently, just keeping the company.
Alright, don't know how to feel about that, but that's good.
As you're like coming to consciousness, you have bits and pieces of the vision in your head as well about the city disappearing. Like not the exact like full vision, but like there are like fragments. There's you standing there, crossbow drawn. There's like crackling energy emanating off of Rusa. Those specific details you remember.
Rusa, do you remember anything about anything? Who took you? Anyone that was around you? Any information you have?
I don't remember anything about who took me, but I was handed over to some dark elves. I saw 2 of them. One seemed to be kind of younger, older than me, but young. And then there was an older woman as well.
Right. The young one, male or female, did you see?
Female.
Got it. Well, I'm just glad you're okay, Rusa. We'll get you back to your father's as soon as we can, don't worry.
I don't know if that's going to happen soon.
My ears are blocked, so I didn't hear what you said, so
I
that's
don't know if
fine.
that's going to happen soon.
No, Jordan heard it.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna get some more, and then he passes out. Just as the giraffe begins deep throating him with another potion.
Yes.
Well, that is...
Sticks his head right down.
No.
Neck and all.
The giraffe drinks and then regurgitates it to time.
Yeah, like a baby bird. Yeah.
a little better imagery, I suppose.
The giraffe has multiple functions. But yeah, with Sigmund's restorative works and also the final long rest you're taking, that would remove your roll exhaustion.
It just like engulfs the liquid, shakes, and then opens up with nothing.
Anything else you want to tackle? So that's like days 1 and 2 and 3, really. Anything else you want to do on day 4?
I think there was. I think I might wait for Stuart. I think
Okay,
maybe Sigmund wants to talk to Stuart.
Yeah. Sharina, anything you want to tackle in your downtime?
Tywin, you're awake. Well, I am so glad.
Oh my fucking god!
Now, I thought you were dead again back there, but here you are, healthy as a, well, I suppose Tywin can be.
Well, it seems you weren't the one to save me this time, Tarina.
Well, I was trying my best, but apparently there's some more competent folk around here these
I only
days.
heard you yelling eroticisms during the battle.
I have a lot on my plate, Tywin. You gotta remember, you're not my only client. But since you're the most unhappy at this present moment in time, I've decided that it is best that I provide a quick psychological analysis, keep you updated, and give you something of a debrief.
Right now?
Yep, always right now. No better time than the now.
Giraffe, can you slit my throat? The giraffe just jumps over to a scalpel and brings it over and he's like, wait, I was being sarcastic, and the giraffe drops it.
Goes back to deep throating.
Goes back to grabbing more potions. Alright, Tarina, let's get this over with.
So, Tywin, I would like you to discuss why you thought it was a good idea to get yourself killed.
This is a very leading question.
Tywin?
Well, it's happened twice now. It's clearly an addiction.
Look, I was...
Are we seeking out death as a coping mechanism for something in your life?
I was doing everything I could to save Rusa. I used all the strength I had to put myself in harm's way. I didn't want to just sit back and trust that I'm going to hit my shots. I also wanted to do as much damage as I could in a short amount of time, and that put my life at risk. But I'm okay with that because Roos is safe now.
But if you had actually died and weren't to know whether or not our mission was successful, would it have been worth it?
If Roos is safe, yes. My life for her seems like a fair trade.
I mean, how do you even know we're in the right place?
Well, I trusted our investigations. We did a good job.
That's putting a lot of faith into something that could have been a false lead, Tywin.
I trust our teammates now.
I see. Well, that's humbling to know. I'll let the others...
Please don't.
Well, why not?
Because we have client privilege, surely?
Confidentiality?
Yes.
I suppose we do, but I think that since some
I
of
don't
the...
care what you think, don't tell him.
Alright then, I'll keep that between you and me, alright, Tywin?
Alright,
Yeah,
good.
you got my word.
You can't talk, can you? And the giraffe goes. Yes, okay, good. We're all good then.
No insight. That's very trusting. No insight on the giraffe?
No insight needed. Any other questions?
Oh, just one more, Tywin.
Great.
Now that we've achieved our goal of getting this little girl back, I hope that you won't be doing any dying in the near future, right?
I'm never planning to die.
How can I be so sure?
I guess you can't.
I've spoken to lots of people with addictions, and many of them be like, oh no, I'll never do like whatever, or drink whatever, or smoke whatever, and well, then like 2 hours later, they're back on it. You gotta be honest with yourself before you can be honest with other people, Tywin.
I promise you I'm never trying to die. I'm not just gonna throw away my life like that.
Can I make an insight?
Sure.
Cool.
Can I make an insight?
That's a 5.
Dude's even on the level.
It's also a 5.
It is a 5, so
I
tell me
don't
what
know
yours
Oh no,
whether
are.
I'm actually
Untrue
proficient.
or
It's an
lie.
8.
Oh, it's an 8?
It's an 8.
Alright, well
Are you actively seeking death?
Also,
I'm not
you
gonna look. I'm not gonna make you guys roll against each other, so to say.
well, we did it anyway. By our
Or,
own
like
volition.
if you, it is up to you to believe.
I would tell you that it doesn't seem like he's lying, but he's also not confident in his own words.
We're just doing downtime. We're just making our way around. There are some people who want to do specific things to do, so we've put them on pause.
Well, Tywin, I'm proud of you that you're doing your best to be on the road to recovery, alright?
Yeah, great.
If you need a helping hand, don't be afraid to reach out, alright?
Don't worry.
I'm happy,
I got the draft.
I'm
It's got a
happy
lot
to
of reach.
help, alright?
Okay, thank you.
Just don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid. I'm
You get back to your sleeping
Good night.
and quality time with the little robot.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to do in your 3 to 4 days of downtime?
The giraffe offers you. The giraffe also offers you a potion, Tarina.
I will.
Well, thank you for this juice, kind creature. I will drink it in my own time.
That is not
Good.
how it delivers.
You now have an elixir of swiftness.
Good.
Anything else?
Now that Stuart's here.
Wow, how?
Do you want to do Stuart's stuff?
What do you need? I am here. I am not in character. What's up?
If you want to give Stuart a bit of moment to set up, we can do
That's
everybody's
right.
downtime.
Alright, yeah, we can do
Do you
that.
want to do
Thank
downtime?
There's
Yeah, everyone wants to talk to
Thank you,
someone.
ladies and gentlemen.
there's like 1 or 2 things.
Yeah, of course. Take your time.
First thing I want to do is look for the Harlan's. Is it Harlan?
Sorry, what? Yep.
Sister.
Mhm.
So just like, yeah, just do some investigation.
Make an investigation check then.
7.
As you're looking for her, it seems to be kind of a dead end. Like any information that you would have come across seemingly would have been at the warehouse itself for the second child. At least with the 7th, because yeah, you found Harlan, but finding Harlan's sister either requires you to find someone who knows where she is or find information on where she is. And yeah, with the 7, unfortunately, you can't locate that just yet. Anything else you want to do?
There was a church, a statue of Victoria here, wasn't there?
Yes.
I'm just gonna do a sneaky, like, try and talk to her again. Because she did the thing with the flower, yeah?
Yeah.
I wanna try and, like, just talk to her, get some guidance.
Sure.
Do we have, is there somewhere I can get morning glories from?
More what?
Morning glories.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily just head to like a garden or a flower shop or something like that and pick something up from really cheap. Yeah.
Actually,
Try literally
Like-
just in the middle of the book. Yeah, there's like a couple of like front gardens that way
Like-
that's got it.
for free, really.
I
Like,
can't.
don't worry about
I
it.
can't
It's
access
okay.
internet right now, so she's just gonna go to a garden and go, just a minute, and go to the altar of the church, and she's gonna place down like an offering of like morning glories, a stick or 2 of like lavender incense, and pulls off her like the Cordia amulet and prays to like Cordia.
As you place the flower down, similar to last time, it does like slowly meld into being like a part of the statue that looks like it's just been carved into the stone, but you don't really get a response from it just yet. So while you get the sense that she has accepted your offering and is grateful for it, as you know, like it becomes like this part of the marble statue itself, she isn't directly able to answer your call at this time.
I'll just give back a Cordia, please guide us. And blessings of health and safety to my friends and the children. And then I also just wanted to do a quick like check-in on Tywin. But just like a, Tywin, are you okay?
Nemo, is that your voice?
You're up!
Hi.
The doctor did it!
He sure did. I'm not fond of the guy, but he's good at his job.
He's quite eccentric, but I'm glad you're up. And I'm gonna get a little giraffe and try and pat its head and go, thank you so much.
Snuggles into your hand.
Cute! And then that's what I want to do.
So, just a quick recap for you.
Thank you.
Marley has conveyed the information about the vision they've had. So you do know you only have 4 days roughly.
4 or 5?
Well, you've done day 1 last session.
Okay, so
Everyone's already
5.
played out day 1, so you've got so you've got another 4 days. Everyone here has done most of their 4-day stuff. A few of them want to have specific conversations with you, but before we get into that, is there anything you want to tackle up to yourself?
Specifically,
Across the 4 days?
for most of the time, Solomon's probably constrained to the forge and working around it.
Yeah.
Hopefully helping trade a bit, similar bits. He's got plans to make some people less soft, but
Less soft.
That seems very pointed.
Highwind.
yeah, it's strange. It's sort of deflected off this veil of ignorance. But oh wait, now we go. Anyway, otherwise, Solomon, if he can take the time, and I don't think it's something that he would take the time to do at the moment, I'd like to take one of the more persuasive members of the party and see if he can go scout the markets for a few materials that he might have heard of or need for future constructs.
Sure.
But that might also be something we need to be luft. Either way, that's...
I mean, if you want to do that, you can do that now.
long story short...
Luft is, to give the long and short of it, what Romy told me is Luft would... anyone who's got a passive insight above 15 can tell this. She partially feels responsible for what happened to Tywin, and so she's become very work-focused and pretty much does not leave, like, this one library she's found.
Oh, okay.
And
she's taken...
For the most part, anyway.
Like, to an extent.
She does come by and notice that Tywin is up, but in a very, like, trying to play it off, like, yeah, cool story, and I'm going to go back to my reading.
Has anyone... I can't do the voice yet, shit. Has anyone taken gold from Solomon at this point as well? Because I think
Everyone took their 375.
Oh, okay, so okay, cool. So you've all taken it,
I
have
don't
you?
think I've added it to my...
If you haven't added it,
well.
I definitely haven't.
So that would do it? Okay.
375.
Because I've currently got 300 platinum, so I've got to subtract... What did I
That's
actually start?
375 gold, right?
so, yeah, so 3,000 platinum.
3,000
So 3,000 gold.
Gold, please.
3,000 gold split between 8 ways is about 375 gold each.
Okay.
So I'll subtract that.
So just take off the 300 platinum and add on 375 gold.
That's what I'm doing.
And everyone can, if they haven't already, add on the 375 gold of their own. I think Nabu was the only one who did that because she wanted to go buy something. Which, speaking
Solomon.
of, you should have your prismatic scimitar and you should have your tattoo.
It will be done.
Yes. Yes.
You got a tattoo?
yes.
Free tattoo, yes.
No, I've always had
I was gonna say
But now
Trey got
semantically
tatted
tattoo.
up.
It's, yeah.
Oh,
It's-
I read about them
yeah.
recently. They're really cool.
Well, this is a homebrew one.
That's still cool. Anyway, Solomon 5. I am doing my voice warm up as we speak. Anyway, that'll do. Solomon would like to, if possible, scout the local markets because this is a fairly big city, isn't it?
Yes, this is the capital of the continent you're on. So if you want to take Torino with you, is what you're saying?
I would like to take Trina if you are willing, Trina. I would appreciate your
I think Torino wants to have a conversation with you anyway, so you can merge these two.
linguistic talents in negotiating the markets of this city.
Well, I am certainly interested in what you'd be purchasing. Are these some sort of items to bring you closer to the good graces and divine light of your Palos, sir?
Indeed, I have heard this city may have trinkets and wares that would help me in terms of religious matters, but no, I seek mere material
Well,
to
that
forge
is,
arms and armor.
well, that is fascinating. All right, then, I'll tail along.
Why, thank you. As you are, I assume, aware, I am less gifted when it comes to conversing with others.
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself, Solomon. You're doing great.
I am not being harsh, merely realistic, Tarina. If you would do me the aid of conversing with these traders and finding out the information which I seek, it would be greatly appreciated.
Or anything to help a friend. After all, you are introducing me to the most holy of holy figures.
Indeed.
And I am ever grateful.
As you should be. Palor's light is a beauty to behold. Anyway, and I would like to seek out some, because we've rented this forge, which I think I've already paid for as well, along with that bit. Either converse with them or seek out the marketplace and look into if they have anything which would let me basically further his goal of being a very big, strong metal thing, or B, specifically, I want to look into unique materials which I might be able to make arms and armor out of.
Yeah.
You mentioned, I think I'd heard about mithril before. I haven't heard about adamantine directly though.
No. Well, make an investigation check, no less. With Tarina's assistance, if Tarina wants to also roll in investigation.
By all means.
Can you just have advantage?
Sure.
I got exactly the same thing twice, so you should have done it.
No.
He's got a...
You have to remember, Hamish can't roll to save his life.
That's a good point.
But then again, neither can Jordan.
Ooh, character death, buddy. How'd you feel that one, huh? Anyway, it's a 14.
14.
It's just mean.
Yeah, it is. Okay, you think I can do it. With a 14. I mean, as far as mechanical modifications go to make you a bigger, stronger, hitty thing, easily done. But like anything above what you have now comes at like great expense. Like that would be like stuff like attaching like a fucking like machine gun to your shoulder. You could do that.
What?
You say, what does that do again? Does it happen to shoot things like a Luft's gun, but more than once? Wow.
Yes.
Okay, well that sounds like fun.
Yes, but that would come at a like
it'll be
great cost.
expensive as shit.
A, you have to consider the cost of the weapon itself.
The weapon itself, and then
And
somehow
then
integrating it into a
and then either
warforged
hiring
that's
people to attach it for you, or either talking to Luft about it.
And look, that's going to
But
take a
that's
lot of
but there's
time.
also a cost attached with
Exactly.
that R&D.
She's going to have to
figuring
research
it.
it. Yeah. That's all good.
Yeah, so like if you want to look into weapons, I can give you a list of weapons.
Yes, if you can preferably just send me one so I can go over it rather than.
Well, I can list up as the main ones.
That'd be excellent. Preferably something to replace or increase the power that I have with my mace. Because the warhammer. Because while the warhammer is excellent, Solomon.
Oh, like you want like an actual wielded weapon, not like an attachment.
Attachments wise,
Because there are
attachments wise, I think I was talking about making a flail so that I can. I want to make an arm blade, basically.
Because like you come across things like there are like one charge per like long rest sort of like beams that you can use, and they like slow your opponent and like make him or immobilize, etc., etc. These are all things you can look into. You can look into like things that will help your plates interlock better together, increasing your armor class, etc., etc.
Hey. Well, this might be the sort of thing, rather than like making everyone listen to it, because I feel like I'm still really rude for coming in late for the downtime.
They've already done their things.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I mean. I feel like I'm stealing it, having walked in.
No.
I'm happy to look at a list of them, or I'll text you about it here during the session a bit, and you can respond as you see fit. But is there an example of an arm blade that I can look at? Because like I said, he pictures something which is basically, what if I had a flail that I could just store wrapped around my wrist and as I needed it? Because that's the common thing. Whenever I cast spiritual weapon, the way he does it is he just lets his warhammer float and blazes with light and all. But he needs something else to hit people with then, and his crossbow really doesn't cut it because Solomon's not very good with it. He's not designed to be accurate in that respect.
I mean, yeah. So basically, what an arm blade for your purposes would look like is, within the cavity that is like your mechanical construct, you could essentially have like a powerful spring-loaded chain-attached spike ball.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And so what would happen is that your fist would retract in, and then the spring would pop out, shooting the flail at your opponent.
So I'd be able to use it like a throwing weapon as well?
That sounds expensive.
Yes.
Okay.
If you want a lower tech version of it, you'll just replace your fist, which means that you'd lose one of your hands.
We'll think about it. Yeah.
But like a high tech version is essentially, as a bonus action, you can aim it at someone and fire it.
No, I just want.
And then you can also use it as a flail
yeah.
on subsequent turns. But the added bonus is that you can fire it at someone.
Yeah.
And push them back.
And push them back. Okay. Because all I want basically, or in my eyes, it's like a flail that I can just deploy and retract at will with a bonus action, and if possible, give it like the thrown property, which is like flavoring him as
of course,
whipping it out and back. Anyway,
I think a flail, like the heads are thrown, like that effectively range thrown weapons.
Oh, but I think the weapon itself is still.
It doesn't have a thrown property, but they act as such.
Okay, there you go. Anyway, that's just for research purposes. What about unique materials and their costs, and like just basically learning a bit more about metallurgy? Because he's only worked with steel, iron, and a bit of brass, especially like as his stuff back as basically like a glorified forge hammer for those dwarves.
You could easily come across more like stronger metals. Metals that are resistant to heat, metals that are resistant to cold, etc., etc. Mithril is definitely viable as an option. Again, expensive. You could, with a few days of waiting time for them to arrange like the import of that material, they could easily arrange it for you.
Okay.
If you're looking to acquire enough mithril to make like a proper set of armor, you're looking at somewhere around like 1,700 gold.
Okay, cool. Okay, in that case, it's mostly just research so he understands the market and what these things require.
Yeah, and with a training assistant, like especially making those like social interactions.
Karina, ask them about the metal.
My large friend here is after some metal.
It must be strong.
He'd like the strong metal, see? What's your strongest metal you happen to have?
And yeah, so they'll discuss mithril and etc. with you, and they'll talk about like if you're
I assume.
they can also arrange that the armor company made. Again, that's an additional cost if you so choose.
Okay.
Because they have some pre-made armors ready to go, which would be easily modified to your needs. But
Okay.
again,
I'll text you about prices and stuff because it's just price negotiation. We don't need to hear that, do we, Stu? Anyway, the other one, I think that was it for that bit, and the other one would be either. The important bit is, so I've heard about, from the first day, I've heard about Marley's revelation of shit's going to go south in 4 days' time. At which point Solomon would have immediately like to get on sending stones.
Oh, and on that, actually, while you weren't here, I made a roll for you. I got everyone to roll a perception check, and so you and a few others discerned that those plans that you saw about like redoing some of the roads and aligning them better, that is all happening on that calendar. Like it's all coming together. Like
that's when they finalize. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like some of the roads need to be shifted to match some of the ley lines. They're being inlaid with Aether and that specific silver dust, so on and so forth.
That would fuck. So Solomon, I have to prioritize that over anything else. And that Solomon would immediately be like, okay, so first of all, I want to say,
well, all of that market research that you were doing, that could have been done like one day, like especially with Tarina helping you along, like really making sure that people aren't like fucking with you about prices. And
given that, I'd like to immediately contact Theodore, alert him to the situation of this city will be plane shifted with Rusa and us in it. You will not reach us in time. What would you have us do, basically?
His response basically equates to like we've sent our fastest fleet and done the most negotiation we can to get it there as fast as possible.
Can we get out of the city in time? This is a big city. I remember that we took like 2 weeks to cross it at one point.
No. You took 2 weeks to get to the city.
Oh, okay.
To get to the city, you could easily leave it for sure if you so choose.
I think that's what we'll. I guess that's what we'll probably. Can because it'll say I can only send like 1 message a day. I'd like to confer with the gang. It appears great calamity will befall us in yet 4 days unless we leave this place. We cannot allow Rusa to be recaptured. If indeed we will be transported to another plane or yet another planet, I believe we should make haste to leave.
Have you seen what they're already doing to the place?
I have seen the plans they have laid and the roads and steel with which they have founded it. However, I do not fully understand these means, nor how we might stop it.
At this, Luft would pipe up saying, that with her natural 20 from earlier, there are 2 means through which you could stop it. You could either sabotage the actual physical transportation method of the city, like the ley lines and all of the inlaid networks and stuff, or you could or you could specifically on the day of the ritual
try and stop it.
Try and fuck it up because there are 6 anchor points that are laid with the hexagonal walls of the city. And if you can,
just that point where we're like, whip open the coat and cock the gun. It's like, right, let's be bad guys. Local terrorists stop city from being transported. Right. Either way, Solomon would still be. His imperative thing is, as I remember, I don't think I talked about the three protocols of the Warforged, but by first protocols, he is bound to save Rusa before he tries to fix anything else. So he would be making sure that he gets her out of the city first, and then tries to stop it. Okay. Whatever happens.
So how are you doing that?
So I need.
Do you have any discernment matters, especially since you
want to see how this plays out? How are you going to go about this?
Would he have to accompany her? I'm trying to think. Solomon would want to accompany her, but at the same time, the fate of a city is a pretty important thing because it's pretty against Paywall's word to start moving stuff around like that. Well, my intention would be remove Rusa from this city, be it either with one of our company or hire outsiders, who I trust far less. Take her somewhere safe, that her father might come and retrieve her with his men.
It should be said, Theodore himself is not coming.
Okay, well, that Theodore's men might be able to retrieve her even if this city is transported. What say you, Molly?
Well, if it's inevitable that it's going to be transported, shouldn't we just all go? Why stay and divide us?
I merely suggest that maybe we can at least ensure the safety of our charge before we undertake this mission to save this city.
Why don't you let me go? Tywin says from the bed. I wouldn't feel comfortable having Rooster out of my sight anyway.
It is our mission to keep her safe, not necessarily to ensure the sanctity of this place.
Where's Rooster at this point?
Rooster's listening into the conversation from like probably the outside door. Like she's.
I'd probably be able to tell if so. Yeah.
What say you, child?
Other side of door. What? Me? I'm not listening.
You know, she actually like she tries to tiptoe away back to her room.
Nobody's out here right now.
I thought you said she was with us. Okay, so
No, she's outside the door listening in.
okay, so we've got to decide. Do we?
Just ask her to come in first and foremost.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Right,
Molly,
so
fetch
come
her
in.
for us, please.
Well, yeah, if you open the door and gesture to her, she kind of no choice. So she kind of
Freezes
like
in the corridor.
yeah.
I wasn't.
awkward teenager walks in.
Would she kind of like go to Tywin out of comfort? Or?
She kind of just finds a corner of the room and just stands in it. Like, you know, very like,
Yeah, just.
I'm being talked
uncomfortable.
about and I don't like it.
Understandable.
Our primary.
I can stay with you. I don't have the best handle on my abilities, but they've implemented some of my abilities to bring about this cataclysm, I guess is the word. So maybe I can help stop it.
To further expose you to it would be
Yeah, hold on. We're not putting her in harm's way again. We just got her back.
precisely.
If we can get her to safety,
We are here
I'll
to
take her to
protect
safety.
you, not to make use
You
of
already
you.
don't have too much of a grasp of your own abilities. You probably need
But
to.
the safest place would be with you guys, right?
The safest
This-
place is
agreed.
away from this city.
Trust me, I will
And
not
if
let
that happens to
anyone
be
get
with
their
us,
hands on
then
you.
yeah.
But I want to help the people here.
I will impale everyone who tries to touch you on one single bolt.
I am aware you wish to help Russo. However, we are sworn to your father to protect you, and letting you walk further into this danger is not
but
in line with his
he's-
wishes. You may lend us.
He's my father, and if there's one thing I know is it's that he wouldn't want myself or anyone to sit idly by while millions of innocents.
You're not sitting idly by though. You see this big motherfucker right here? He can take it. He can take it on his own, and he's not gonna be doing it on his own. He's gonna have like 6 other people help him in it anyway. You don't need to be there, Rusa. You can be safe.
We can protect
one
you,
robot
child,
millions of
or
lives.
we can try and save this city. We cannot do both. I regret. And while your father may wish you to be active, we do not. He is not here.
I know I don't have much of a say in this, but if
You
have to
entirely
choose,
do.
But if you have to choose between protecting me and protecting the city, then I protect the city.
No.
Nemu's-
No. No.
Nemu's going to. Sorry. Nemu's going to gently like kneel towards Nemu and goes, "Are you sure that this is what you really want to do?"
Bear
I
in
might-
mind that you would have seen the same thing that I saw, right? So you know that you seem to be in the centre of it too. So what if they try to play into the fact that you don't have a full grasp of what you can do yet?
Your powers are not showing us what's set in stone. They're a possible outcome. And there's no indication that it's even the most likely outcome, it's just one of them.
I'm gonna.
Perhaps
Didn't think about it like that.
Perhaps what you're seeing, what we're seeing, is what comes about should we choose to do nothing.
That is entirely possible.
I'm going to make a gesture, like, can I? To, like, put my hand on her shoulder.
She doesn't resist by any means.
Listen, if you truly want to help us, I might be going against the grain here with everyone else, but if you want to, I'm here for you to. I can help protect you when you fight us. If this is something you truly want to do, I don't think I can stop you.
Well, I fucking can.
But no, listen. I get that she's very important to not only us, to Theodore, but to
Yeah,
our
she's a
own.
little fucking girl. We're not letting her get into a battle.
But what is she going to do if she can't? What if there's something she can do that we can't?
We'll have to find another way.
I don't think that's
What
in
if-
question. I think that she definitely can do things that we can't.
I
It's
think-
Great, let's learn to do those things. I'm not putting Rooster in harm's way again.
I'm with you on this.
Good.
I'm not looking to put.
I'm gonna
her
yell
in
at
the
anyone
middle
who
of,
talks to me.
Yes. Weren't you dead?
Is this a side? Is this a side?
Very pointed.
Is this a side effect of
No,
the
it's quite
potions?
alright. Tywin's on demand.
Is this a side effect, or are you just in permanent yell mode?
Well, I'm in yell mode because we're talking about killing a fucking child.
No, oh,
We're
shit.
not talking about killing a
The plan is we
We
kill the child
basically
and
am.
we might save some
If
lives.
we sit by and let her be in harm's way when we can get her to safety, we are basically signing her death
We're not
warrant.
sitting
we
by
killed
it.
the
Do
black
I
man.
know
We
her
are.
when she crushed the people into like?
If we bring her with us when we don't need to, we're putting her in danger again. And I don't want to put a little girl in danger again.
She's not a little girl.
She absolutely is.
She
I
kind of
think.
is.
Wait, how old are you, sweetheart?
14? 12?
14.
14. I can't.
Right, this young adult protagonist is 14 all the time. She can do it.
She
If
might.
Ash is constantly 12 and can finally win a Pokemon
Ash was
tournament.
10 when he set out.
Can I
That's
get everyone?
true.
As
shit.
part of this, can I get everyone to make a perception check?
Tywin, she's a little girl. Are we aware we already?
hell!
Are you aware we already have a little girl? Luft. Suddenly,
That
why?
doesn't count.
She doesn't count. Oh, that's was it perception?
I done do got me a 24.
Tywin got an unnatural 20.
I got a natural 20.
What is it perception?
You start.
Got a
22.
fucking 3! Fucking hell!
Trey's talking to her sword. You'd never betray me.
The kitsy is very.
It's like that scene with the basketball with the eyes drawn.
I got
What
it.
does yours come to in the end?
25.
Mine's above a 19.
Okay.
Perception?
Calathor, you're the only one who notices this. As you guys are basically arguing and civil warring this shit.
Carissa's reacting.
No, Roos are kind of like, you notice this very carefully. Like you notice like her skin becomes the color of the wood behind her, and then she just leaves.
Oh, you wanna
Like,
go
leaves and
anywhere?
disappears or what?
Like disappears and then leaves. But you're the only one who notices this.
So you know, wait,
really?
Stop arguing, Larissa just left.
she what?
Wait. I
Marissa
got-
has
Russo?
I feel like she's been inside this entire time.
I
I don't
see
think
what-
that we're
I
kind
was-
of.
Oh no,
hovering.
but like she very pointedly made a thing of being like talking to you guys, but being as far away from the conversation.
I also got a 25 technically.
But also, like, she did make a stealth check and rolled a
Perception?
natural 20, so the only one who noticed it was the other natural
Wait,
20.
perception?
Yeah, right, okay.
I got a 26,
Damn.
25 perception. Does
why.
that- but that's
Who
unnatural.
haven't had teleportation magic?
Sorry, it took forever for my thing
Who
to load.
haven't had like invisibility magic?
Sure, as you cast Detect Magic,
Russo. You immediately assume someone's vanished her away. Where have you gone?
what does Detect Magic
I will-
actually detect?
I will tell
Does it detect spells, or does it detect, like, everything?
No, she disappeared, just slightly stepped to the left.
When I read the
Oh,
spell.
there you are. Anyway,
She just like very shittily hides behind the ground. You can see half her body.
You can
She's like,
sense the
"Bruce, where'd
presence
you
of
go?"
magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic.
She's not visible.
yeah.
No,
she's not
But
visible.
do I sense magic within 30 feet of me?
There's a
I
giraffe.
can't like check the object. I can't check her, but I can tell if there is magic.
Does that
within
include
me.
magic items?
And it only penetrates.
Magic items will glow.
Yeah, it only penetrates a foot of stone,
Boom.
3 feet of wood, or
Can I like
1 inch of wood.
run to where I saw her last?
Yeah, as you do that, nothing there.
Calliope, fly around the room
You
with blind sight.
yeah, you look to you notice a faint aura on the other side of the door, rapidly looking at it.
She's gone.
And the glowing giraffe at your feet.
So she would have opened
Rusa!
the door and gone out?
Yes.
I'd like to
Like,
try and slam open the door. And
Like the door is like slightly ajar, like you
Yeah.
guys are, like as you were discussing.
Given that there's so many of us in a relatively short, like small room.
It's not that small. It's like you're paying like a gold for a day. It's like pretty nice.
Rusa, return to us!
As she came in, she did leave the door ajar. Like
Comes back into Pokeball.
Nonsense. Well, Solomon's barged out of the
return.
corridor and not sure where she's going anymore.
Tywin like pushes off the blankets and like hobbles out of bed and hobbles out the door as well.
I'm gonna try and stop him going, no, you're still unhealthy.
No,
Sit.
I'm a fucking hunter. I can find her.
Okay, but if you fall over and die, it wasn't my responsibility since you decided.
I'm not gonna fucking die. Most of my wounds are healed. It's fine.
Solomon, where did she go?
I do not know. I merely sensed her leave this room downstairs.
yeah, downstairs.
I'm going to try to track her, ranger style.
Sure. So what does that entail?
Like see if I can find any marks that she left.
Sure, make
like
a
any long
survival
holes.
check.
Second floor, right? That we're on?
Yes, you're on the second floor.
I will
Yeah,
send
um,
Calliope downstairs and run after, but Calliope's faster.
Calliope doesn't have any sort of like true sight, does she?
She has blind sight at 10 feet.
Okay.
Sorry.
Make a quick perception check at disadvantage. What were you saying, Alex?
In response to seeing that, door ajar and not in the room, can I jump out the window?
11.
Yeah. With your what's it called? Slow fall. You reduce 25 points of fall damage.
And good luck getting past that in, yeah.
2 stories up is how much? That's what?
Isn't it d6 per 10 feet? Oh,
Yeah, this is not feet. This is stories. So
stories,
ground floor 1, 2.
Each story is 10 feet.
Okay. So what?
It's like 3 meters.
Yeah, so like if you manage to roll more than...
So you just jump out.
Yeah,
Land.
Bit of a long shot, but is 3 enough to
I
track her?
Does a 6 hit?
yeah, it's basically just trying to basically go to the front and...
That's the smart cat.
Yeah.
very wisdomous.
Yeah, sure. You jump out of the window. With a 3, you think you're on the right track.
There's footprints here.
She's this way.
Follows a set of
Sprint out the
footprints.
door.
Calliope had a perception of 11. Disadvantage.
Yeah, no, Calliope thinks she's on the right track.
Okay, cool.
It smells like fish.
Yeah, so I basically just kind of dashed around to what front of it that I could. Keeping an ear out, just trying to be...
So you're just like T-posing in front of the front door.
No, I would basically kind of go in the front and, if she's walking or if she's running or whatever else, I would be able to
At disadvantage.
try and... Disadvantage?
Yes.
But it's hearing, it's not sight related.
Yeah, but
You're
if
listening.
If you're trying to find anything that you can't see.
I'm going.
It's more so sensing anything you can't see is at disadvantage.
See overrides all.
I'm going to very frustratingly just go like, do that. Oh my goodness, and go to her room and just sit there like because I wanted to talk to her.
I would also head to Bruce's room, find anything that I can use to write, and just write. You decide what you want to do, and then just head out.
Yeah, again.
This young girl is not injured, is she?
12, by the way.
If I'm saying this to Nemu, by the way, since Nemu is one of the only ones who stayed back.
Wait a minute. Hello?
Hello. This young girl is not injured, is she?
No, she isn't.
Well, then why not let her go?
Well,
Just let her be free. She seems to be able to handle herself.
Well,
You need not babysit her anymore.
I want her to do what she wants, and if she wants to fight, that's for her. I don't believe in...
She seemed to have left by her own volition. I say we just all come back and
No,
relax.
but also we need to take her back to her father, so I can't exactly let her go.
She will go to her father if that is what the fate says.
But she doesn't know where where she is, or where she's going. You can't...
Well, that is up to that baby bird to fly back to its nest. We cannot dictate which way its wings fly.
That's even worse. Who... Do I know your name, by the way?
Sigmund? Yeah, I think I introduced myself to everyone.
Sigmund. I don't think it's going to work that way. I think what really needs to be done is if she wants to fight with us, that's on her own volition.
I agree.
But she wants to get back to her family, to her father, and I think we've got arrangements made so we can guide her back home. That's more important. I
Well,
don't.
it seems right now she wants to run. And that is what she is doing.
Are you going to be here all day?
Probably. I assume Tywin may come back with several more injuries, as he seemed to have sprinted out in, might I say, the wrong direction.
Within seconds of leaving
Yes.
the room, you just hear crunch, crunch. It's like, Sigmund!
Would you like to do some prayers with me then, if you like, if you're
office.
staying?
Really
I-
bad.
Also with the 12, you're unsure where she is.
As long as I am allowed to pray to the god of my choice.
Whatever you'd want.
Wonderful. Let us do it.
And I'm going to try and very energetically and excitedly chant in Celestial for Ikoria. Just to scare him.
Yeah.
And I pray to the Dark Lord of Xerxes.
Nice.
What?
Despite
That's
that,
it.
God.
You just created
No,
a
no.
new D&D god.
I did.
Yes.
When I created the character, I created a new D&D.
That line
The
was just
Dark Lord of
randomly
Xerxes.
said by Sigmund out of context.
despite
Just,
the fact,
I will now pray.
despite the fact that she's trying to like weird him out by being intensely religious.
Yeah, you're the one getting weirded out by.
she's like
He heard someone be religious.
she's
once.
very
What?
enthusiastic, but you can see the fear in her eyes as she's like, what the fuck?
Gabu, gashi, gambo, dani, gabi,
That's the spirit, yeah. But she's like,
Snar.
she's like, help me, Ikoria, help.
You're a lesbian? I thought you were American.
Oh god.
But yes.
We also need to take a
We've
break.
just
soon,
lost
because
our
the camera's about to die.
Yes, we should take
See
a
you
break.
guys.
So, let's take a break, and we will be back very soon. See you soon.
Yeah.
Welcome back. So we pick up where we left off just a moment ago. The person you've been tasked to take care of has gone invisible and run away. So you're off to a great start.
Good luck.
What would you guys like to do?
I didn't-
Marley's jumped out of a window.
To be clear, the person I was tasked to take care
I
of did not
know.
go invisible. He simply ran away.
You don't seem to mind though.
Nah, it's fine. He's mostly healed.
Anywho,
Why is that wet?
welcome back. What would you guys like to do?
So from the stairs, can I hear
Yeah,
anything?
and
at
did
all?
Solomon
With a
catch
perception
any?
check, no.
Did Solomon catch
Well,
any of
that
this
was-
magical aura that was
You can make a
Right.
perception check if you want as well.
Okay.
Why is that wet? Did Solomon catch
Cool.
anything
That
that was
is an
detect magic when he
18,
walked in?
but also I have a passive of 20.
Put in Solomon's voice. Why is that wet?
20.
Because
You
I
went
am
downstairs.
Wet.
You don't come across anything there.
My scout rats scatter.
Yes.
Here we
Make
go.
Boys, go.
make a general perception check for your rats.
Like 34.
For every single one of them.
Yes, I want you to roll 34 d20s.
I have 6 here. Wait, 7, 8, 9.
I have
Here you go.
Shape
I'll just contribute to the
At
cause.
least one of them is likely to do something.
No, but a lot of them aren't. I have about 18 d20 in the slots.
I only have 8.
Oh, what Sigmund's fucking character.
1.7 of them should be just me.
I can approximate a d20 with a d6.
When you sent out your scout rats, are they
the
just like
trees of
on your
I don't know, I
person?
just
do it by
And you kind of
d10.
just deflate as they would just
No, I just-
scurry down your body and
I-
spread out over the floor?
I just call for them and they.
Oh, okay, so they're just around.
Yeah, they're just around.
Boys, to me.
Alright, it's I'll say 19.
19 just generally?
You
Yeah,
would
sure.
say 19.
It might be higher, but I can't
you
double
do.
check.
Where do you send them?
In opposite directions from each other.
Like, but where? Like specifically, downstairs, upstairs, left, right.
Well, I'm outside in the center of the city because I sprinted that way thinking that's where she went,
Okay.
and then the rats scattered from the center of the city.
Sure.
outward.
Maybe 10, 15 minutes pass, nothing. Maybe 20, 25 minutes pass, nothing. They all start filtering back after a while, reporting that they haven't seen anything.
Okay, understood.
Did I catch anyone down in the foyer or any magical aura having stepped down? Someone just barges in, scanning.
Not other than the magical items on your party,
Okay.
etc., etc.
So,
and
lost the
trinkets.
bugger.
Anything glowing on anyone in the room anyway?
One of a mercenary-looking type has like a glowing sword. Evocation.
This is unbeknownst to me. Like
Yes.
just for you.
But you sense that Solomon knows this. That's good.
Evocation,
I'd say
evocation
no.
sword on one, like a mercenary-looking type. A few holy amulets around.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Do you have a good
Well, that
holiday?
one, and that one, and that one.
Yeah. Train, anything you want to do?
I'm just staying with my good friend Solomon. I'm interested to see him at work.
Sure.
Happy work.
Trey, Namu, about 5-10 minutes later, Rusa becomes visible in the room.
Hello.
The same room upstairs.
Her room.
The room that is technically my room too.
Yes, the one that the one that she has been staying in as well, alongside you.
It sounded like there was a bolting downstairs.
Yes, she went downstairs and noticed that you were at the door. Went back up.
Is this the room that me and Sigmund are in?
Huh?
Is this the room me and Sigmund are in?
No, because you and Trey were waiting in her room. And
You had the conversation, and then you and Trey went to
Oh yeah.
Marley and
so Sigmund is not there.
Like jump together.
So we just appeared and then did.
Wait, so which room did she appear
We
in?
paid off.
she is in the room that Marley and Rusa have been staying in.
And was that not where we were having our conversation?
No.
I thought this was like in the
Entire
dining
This is
room,
the Taiwan room.
and then
Entire
Nimue was like,
Right.
"Okay, thank you for your conversation."
And then
She tried to intimidate you by chanting, and then you chanted, and then she left.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought
Right.
he was in like the room in the darkness, and I was like,
But yeah, so Trey, she just kind of appears a few moments later, like 5-10 minutes
I was
later.
just standing in the middle of a pitch black room. I require more
They're a bit
medication.
annoying sometimes. I do apologize.
I thought it'd be a bit more comfortable if we had a few others, just a few of us to talk about it, if you like.
Well,
If you're not comfortable, you don't have to.
I'm
I can't-
definitely returning by a window, just as a heads up.
Yeah, I mean, you return. You would return to the window you dived out of, correct? Because
I mean, if I
the
can
window
hear
to the window to your room is closed.
that, I'll find a way. Dun, 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 dun.
You
We've
just
seen
hear
how this goes before.
You guys hear a knock on the window.
there's like that little cat scratching like
Trey closes the curtains.
You just hear just a slump.
But again, you have slow fall, so you can just negate the fall damage.
you just hear a gentle thump.
They can try and stop me, but I'll just keep trying. Yeah. It's not right.
It's not right.
And I know that they're tasked with keeping me safe, but keeping me safe, if that is the cost associated with keeping me safe, then I don't want to.
I'll be honest with you, Rusa. I think that any argument I have when it comes to your age or your abilities is null. I mean, look at us. We have a 12-year-old girl who is fighting and is constantly in danger. If you'd want the honest opinion if you want my honest opinion, I say you do what you want and what you think is right. Because you are just as strong and capable as the rest of us. And it should be your decision to fight with us, to go safe. It's not anyone else's decision but yours. No, I'm not going to stop you. I promise.
If I sit by and do nothing, either willingly or forced into submission, I feel like it will haunt me. This is not a simple one life saved for one life expended. I don't believe in all this rights nonsense, really. Like, it's cool that my dad does what he does, but like, I'm no more important than people who live here.
I think that this is your fight as well.
We'll
You-
be there 100% of the way.
Oh. You just that's just a thump of like
Rooster tells them, what the fuck was that?
sorry, I'm just finishing my rockstar energy.
Yeah,
Not
like,
sponsored
Marley's
by.
Virgin stands up like,
This is not a painful ad.
You get to decide what you want to do. If Luke can decide what she wants to do and she's younger than you, we shouldn't treat you any different.
if I can.
We're gonna save this town and you're a part of it at the
We're not
moment,
being
so
paid to take care of them.
Don't listen.
we are going to take care of her.
But we're not being paid to take
Don't
care
listen
of
to
them.
Tywin, he's a stinky old man.
If I can come in
Like
and
20.
interject, it's.
I mean, yeah, if you want to interject, you can.
Oh yeah, like I mean, I
can
I
walk
can
up the stairs like a
come back
normal
upstairs and then just kind of pace myself, good listening into little bits, and it's like we're not saying that you're not capable. It's just like you don't have as much experience as.
But that shouldn't be important, Mom.
I mean, are you going to give a weapon to like a random kid in the street and say, you know, you are just as capable as the next armed soldier?
You never know. I mean, well,
You should not be in charge of that stuff.
I'm in charge. I'm good with kids.
Yeah, I suppose you did give a lot of money to a kid on a train that you never saw again.
I promise I'm good with kids. But on a serious note, I think something tells me that Rusa is a bit more capable than just the average child. A lot of those kids, not being in control, they seem a little bit more capable than, say, a child who doesn't.
Well, we've got a few days still, apparently. Why don't we try and see what we can do with this? Try and get you used to whatever it is you can do.
Get some guidance. Train you up a little bit. Because you wouldn't do it if you didn't feel confident in yourself. You know that you can do it. It's just
Depending on who, if you want to, who could talk to the others.
Even if I don't feel like I can do it, I feel like I have to try. And
that's the most important part.
I'm really hoping this cuts to a montage over the next few days of us like training.
Molly chairs and then we just.
well,
she's doing
as you guys
crunches.
have this conversation, Solomon, Calitho, Torino, Tyron, what are you guys up to?
I mean, I don't know that Rusa's in a room.
Yeah,
do
you
I.
know.
Like, occasionally you guys see Calliope whizzing past the windows as she's looking for Rusa.
Yeah,
Once
the
again,
person-
Trey's
On the floor, you just
just
hear
got
a
the
faint,
curtain closed, standing
"Rusa!"
right at the.
Solomon's just
You can
returned.
just look at
the
Let everyone
baby.
know
Just
that
like
he can't find her. It says, "Oh, we can
scanning the
only
room
pray
as
that
it's
she
coming.
will return."
You guys also see
I
there's rats
fear I
outside
was-
the window, all scurrying around.
Yeah,
They all have
curtain's
scarves
closed.
on.
Curtain's closed, Trey is standing out the front. You
You
get
just see
like,
a
no
little
way.
shadow
Tyron's
of
hot on the
Calliope
trail,
chasing
several
the
kilometers
rats.
that way.
I fear I
Look,
was.
I'm
in
sure
debt.
she's that way. As he gestures to a train that leaves the town.
This is definitely one of the directions
It's
that
like a brick wall, it's like that.
is possible.
Look, guys, I figured it out. She's nowhere on the ground, so she must have flown away.
To the skies. We need to rent an airship immediately.
He's just making his own jetpack, like, don't worry, I can get him.
She's like, look, we've got to make a jetpack. Anyway, so yeah, you return.
Alright, Solomon's just, I fear I may have been indelicate in the words I chose to speak with her, especially considering her recent captivity. I suspect it is not my inclination to any more deal with her, and it should be one of you. She will not respond well to me, for I am merely her father's servant.
I enjoy the way you articulate your thoughts, Robot Man.
It takes me great effort at times.
As does it mine.
It's okay, we can
Indeed.
see that you're trying.
Solomon and Sigmund are just trying to have an awkward off.
How long can you stretch out your words?
Okay. So yeah, you return. If you're talking to these guys specifically, you'll notice that Roos is just chilling.
What? No, I'm not in their room.
Oh, okay.
I returned to Tyron's room because I didn't think to go into Roos's.
Okay.
Solomon will just wait. He'll stand. Actually, Solomon would probably wait outside Roos's room.
Door closed.
Yeah, until she
Yeah.
comes back.
Even apparently you don't breathe, just breathing heavily.
You just hear like people talking on the other side of the door, but you don't think of it.
Yeah,
Just-
I know you guys are in there. I understand you guys are in there, so just
It's,
wait.
it's a recording on repeat of just like random conversation that we prepared earlier. Yes, they must be in the middle of something important.
Did you see which way Tywin partook?
I fear I did not. I was focused on the child and her inquiry. Tywin, I believe, went the opposite direction.
I see. You know which cardinal direction that was.
I mean, yeah, they do.
I mean, it's what
East.
way
Did you
was
say east?
what way was the
Down-
whole way down to
downstairs.
the foyer?
Pardon?
What way was
Down
Tywin's
the
gone to get that bread.
Down a whole way down to the foyer.
Or wherever I thought she went.
He's just
Westward.
tearing into
Westward.
pieces of bread.
He went east. He went east.
Understood. Giraffe goes and scurries east to go find Tywin.
Yeah. I mean, given sufficient time, yeah, Tywin will be located.
Yeah, alright.
Solomon just
Giraffe
lie.
like signals for Tywin, and Tywin goes, alright, I guess I'll follow this fucking thing, and then comes back as well. Solomon, you find her?
I fear not. The child wishes not to be found, and someone with her skills is incredibly well suited to do so.
Fuck. She could be right under our fucking nose, and we don't even know it.
There is
Especially
nothing we can do but wait and pray that she will return to us. Lest I fear I must have a very difficult conversation with her father.
Shit.
Oh dear.
Well, we had you.
Do we hear Solomon's booming voice?
Yeah, there it is.
Very likely.
As long as you're in the same city, yes.
We just look at her, it's like, do you want to just relax and stay? She's like, no.
Like Jurassic
Do you
Park,
wanna-
water.
I feel like
In a
they've spent quite enough time looking for me. And from what I can hear, there is some element of regret in Solomon's voice at the very least. So I'll invite him in.
okay.
She goes up to the door, makes it open.
Come on in, Solomon. There's plenty of room.
Rooster, stay back. I am waiting for my child. Well, how? I
I went downstairs to leave, and then the Mali was there. So I went back
And
upstairs.
then B mom.
bless that cat. I am sorry for my words before. They were insensitive. I understand I can be strict and blunt at times. I also understand that you wish to help, but you must understand in turn that I am your father's servant. It
I
is
thought you were gonna stop.
I know.
I am your father.
Of your father.
It is
Solomon, who are you
for some
talking to?
for some context, there's this guy on
Twist of the
Steam
decade.
who reviews every game with Luke, I am your father, join me. And so my mind is gonna, you're just gonna stop at I am your father. No, that doesn't make sense.
Who are you talking to, Solomon?
You hear some bounding
And
up
I
the
said,
stairs.
Solomon, if he could raise an eyebrow, he would. He just sort of motions to Rooster and like looks behind him. Because apparently he understands that you've hidden in your room for this long.
Yeah, like it's been like a good like hour and a half at this point. Like
In the same sort of way that you can see the Mandalorian, like, tilt an eyebrow with no
Yeah.
clear,
His she wished for him to reveal.
you can come in.
So the Solomon steps to the side and said, seems you
Rooster! Oh, fuck!
may
Comes
return
into the
as
room
creatures.
and like kneels down to Rooster's level. You can't fucking run off like that.
I went to my room.
Why'd you do that?
Because
Don't you know we're doing this to protect you? We need you to be safe.
but as I've said, I don't think my life is worth any more than the millions of people who live here. So you can try and stop me, I guess. You've already seen that isn't really working.
Regrettably, I believe your father would disagree with you on that point.
Rooster, can I tell you about another girl that I know?
Better grab a chair.
There's a girl that I know that that I took care of a lot as she grew up, and she was just like you. She constantly got into all sorts of trouble, and every time I took my eyes off her, she disappeared, exactly like you. And I guess thinking about it, she's turned out all right. She's turned out better than I could have ever hoped. So, I just...
Sorry. The fucking look Olivia gave me, she's like, I'm so sorry, this is a touching speech, but Olivia looked at me dead in the eyes and went, and I was like, I can't keep a straight face.
If you really think that this is something you need to do, I can't stop you, but I am going to put myself between you and whatever danger comes your way. You understand that, right?
It would be a lot easier if you helped me instead of hindering me. So, I guess this is a start.
Alright, motherfuckers, gear up. We're going.
That's not the 11th hour. What day is this? Hang on.
Tywin goes, he's
Alright, we're going.
loading his crossbow.
For the sake of the fact that when the selection started, there were people who also wanted to talk to Solomon, we'll call this day 2.
We just went back in time.
Solomon's available to talk to.
Yeah.
Like a little prompt above his head.
Does that mean that we haven't actually spent a day together then?
No, like, sorry, no, this will be day 3 then, sorry, my bad, day 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just accelerated time again.
That's nice.
But yeah, there's like a lot of simultaneously happening parts. But so yeah, consider this day 3, like the end of, like the winding down of day 3. So you've done a bunch of downtime stuff. But yeah, so
Little girl, if it is truly safety that Tywin requires of you, how about you take this? And he gives her the elixir of resistance that he has. If any danger comes your way, immediately ingest it.
what does it do? Just so I can remember to
It
use
increases the armor class by 1 for some time.
Okay, sure.
You know, that is wise. Rusa, I think you should have this too.
10 minutes.
I give her a potion of healing
Okay.
in case you're badly hurt.
And my axe.
And my sword.
And your brother. So yeah, so we'll call that the end of day 3. Those who wanted to do downtime conversations with Solomon, feel free to do that on day 4.
Everyone just
This
lines
is
up.
the 10th now?
Yes, this is the 10th.
Oh,
Just making sure I'm following it in my brain. It's okay.
Solstice.
Yeah.
What is it with this campaign and like non-linear storytelling? It's the same with the heist that we did where we had to keep going back in time and forward again. We're like fucking Christopher Nolan. It's
Look,
impressive.
I like non-linear storytelling because that allows everyone to do their thing without putting
Hey,
a
it makes
specific
sense.
time constraint on them. Like everyone can just list off what they want to do,
Yes.
and provided they pass their roles, which Olivia isn't.
Yeah.
Nothing. I love you. I love you. It's like,
And if it's non-linear storytelling, it's not technically a retcon. So,
That's true. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
Why does he look so sad?
Actually, can we storytell Tywin didn't die ever? Just let's go back to that
Tywin
time.
hasn't died. No. I don't know what you're talking.
it's tired.
anyway, you want to have a conversation with Solomon? Feel free to do that.
Yes. So I guess at some point where Solomon's forging, and maybe if Trey is with him, otherwise I will drag Trey to him. All right. Hello, you two. Don't worry.
Very colourful.
No more spells, but I need to let you guys know why I don't want to try any more spells. I think
Oh, that leads.
Spells in what regard?
yes. The spells I've been trying to use on Trey to free her from her curse, but I've realized it's had dangerous consequences, and I should let you know of a vision it's given me.
Oh.
It has.
I think last time I was in a scene where I think it was your mother holding you when you were very young, and there was Gratz in it. and
Whoa!
he nearly killed you.
Whoa!
Straight to the point.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I do not understand social cues.
Clearly.
Keep going. It's okay. Don't stress.
That was pretty much it, Gratz.
I saw your
Turn
mum.
and walk away.
A woman you've been looking for many years, or at least wanting to know, to have closure about, and also Grast. You know, the guy that's been tormenting you. That's it.
Solomon
Is anyone else
glances.
there?
No, but
Did anything happen?
Gratz told me to stop trying, and he threatened, I think, all of our lives.
Solomon glances to Trey.
And the fact that I can contact Gratz so easily just through this means he must have a very powerful hold.
Also, this was before Tywin died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Solomon glances to Trey, giving you earlier revelation after that little spar.
I wanted to tell you this
Yes.
because you seemingly have the most knowledge on all things holy.
I may have holy knowledge indeed, but not arcane, nor the nature through which Trey is touched by these beings. He glances to Trey in a somewhat uneasy fashion. Are you aware the circumstance of her birth?
I'm not.
Trey, it may be best if you enlighten him.
Yeah.
Then?
Well,
Okay.
my mother, I guess, couldn't conceive child. And so she prayed to many deities. And well, Gratz was one of them to answer the call, and Canis was the other. Ta-da!
She is a child born not of one but two gods. Their influence both is upon her.
I have two dads who are on both sides of the deity spectrum, and I guess that's why Gratz's connection is powerful.
That is fucking awesome. I'm sorry.
That is great. Tell me
No
more.
emotion up till this point, like, saw grass, saw your mum. That's fucking awesome!
But he has. How dare he threaten your life and anyone else's? That's not cool. That's not. That's.
Yeah, man, not cool.
We've got boundaries, and that boundary is.
Come on, Dad.
Dad!
Daddy!
My daddy will hear about this.
My second daddy. will be
My
hearing about
second
it.
daddy will kick your butt.
My dad will kick my other dad's butt.
That's a much smaller concern if he's technically your father. Then that means it's a lot deeper than it has.
I do not believe it is something which your magic or mine will easily be able to remove.
I agree.
I have discovered I can shield her from their influence to an extent, but it requires my concentration to do so. And that focus is often distracted in times of combat, which seems to be exactly when she is touched.
And direct attempts at prevention angers him greatly.
I'm not surprised by that. I'm not surprised by that at all. I'm gonna find a way.
We'll find a way.
No,
Yes.
We as in
There's
Chicken
that.
and myself. Yes, good point. Good point, Callie. Chicken and myself, we're gonna find a way. Isn't that right, buddy? That's it.
And
It's holding itself Simba
So
style.
perfect.
You do not need to be concerned with me. I will.
What have you done?
I have made art.
You're not wrong.
Carter.
Art takes
You know-
many forms.
you're not by yourself here.
Not if your lives are in danger.
Yes.
I'm not.
Your
It's
life
chicken noise
would be in more danger without us. See, I think he agrees.
Bok. Bok, bok.
He like gestures like a wing.
Chickens? Oh, chicken's good.
Chicken's got an
Chicken's
intelligence
got a
19.
Chicken's
fucking
sentient?
mind.
Chicken
Chicken's
knows.
got an intelligence of 19, but it has no way of demonstrating that intelligence because you can't talk to it and it can't talk to you.
Okay, so we don't share a language, thank God.
Yeah.
I was worried.
19.
It can intuit emotion, of course.
That's the smartest in the
good.
party, basically.
Okay.
Well, during the use of time.
What do we do now then?
Needed a magic item
What
for
does
that.
Solomon say for this then? I'm trying to think.
Look, right now, I'm just trying to make sure.
It started out as a
going to be
meme and then just
okay
cemented
when we
itself
go
into reality.
combat tomorrow.
Did we
Oops, that
did
goes
we know
bad.
about the
Need to
significance
save
of the
a
solstice
system.
as well? For you?
Oh, it's no.
That's all we don't know about that.
No.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Look, I'm just trying to make sure that Roos has got some sort of like armor or covering for tomorrow, because we all know that she's going to be out there fighting with us. So
We can't stop that happening.
why should we?
On that note, or
Fool
like
of a
on
child.
on that discussion point, like Roos has definitely taken a vested interest in like Solomon's like blacksmithing.
So Roos is just sitting there with the book, like, oh yeah.
Like not like specifically as part of this conversation,
No.
like in general, like across the few days that you've been like discussing and stuff. She's definitely like taken to like figuring out like what she can wear. She reckons she can't probably wear like a full plate, but she could probably do like splint or breastplate
Okay,
or
so-
half plate, something like that. She can do medium.
Gives her a plate, you can work up from this.
And furthermore, the closer you approach to the 11th, the more you see like posters and flyers about like like celebrating the solstice.
Where is that
We
happening?
should have made a big effort to stop this crap during the time. But
Well, there's like similar to like how New Year's Eve is celebrated here, like you know, like how there's like different fireworks, so like a bunch of like different beaches. It's like that. Like there's a central like location.
Did we know from the dream sequence if there was a specific part of the day that all?
Yes, it happens. 9:14 p.m.
9:14.
Oh, accurate. Nice. The cat that can rewind time also tells it perfectly.
Well, no, because as part of Marley's vision, like there was like a macro calendar thing that was flipping through the days and
Oh,
time,
it was just-
like,
yeah,
like a clock spinning.
So we have had 5 days, just to be clear.
4.
4.
We will have 5 though.
Yes.
Is it on the 5th or is it after the 5th?
So you had the initial vision on the 6th, and it shows it happening on the 11th. So
Okay.
that was including the day that you had the vision.
Yeah.
So
But that was also counted in that day of downtime.
I will have 14. No, wait, what am I saying? Not 14. 10.
Yes, it is.
10 rituals.
So all in all, Rusa would ask someone to sponsor her, like half plate.
How much would that be?
Let me find out.
Half plate is 750 gold.
$750.
I can't afford that.
You can't.
Oh no, I only just passed 400.
I can make it in my week of downtime for half.
Well, you were already making one, right?
I was making. So I was in a part working on a half plate. So
Well, no, she's not. She doesn't. She's not saying give me half plate. She's saying can you give me something like of that power?
Yeah.
Like, it could be like splint mail, like some sort of medium armor is what she says she can
let me
wear.
just-
She's also happy to go with light.
Let me just check briefly then, because I'm pretty sure I can make. So what did I just say? I have to do some maths here, and that's going to take me a second because I
Yeah.
have to think and talk at the same time.
Okay.
And I'll tell you how much armor we can make, depending on if you count a week
Well,
extra for my
Luft
work.
can help you.
Okay.
Luft can help you. Trey can help you because Luft can just become proficient with whatever tool she wants now.
Great.
You can smith.
No,
Oh,
I just like
Marley just wants to help.
exactly just motivational support.
Ready?
It's like giving
Okay.
inspiration. Juice.
give me a B, give me an A. So give me an A, give me a C, give me a K, S, M, I, T, H, I, N, G. What does that spell?
Is that
Blacksmith means.
Who knows?
No, but yeah.
I have.
Rusa to an extent can also speed up the process by helping you transmute some of the metals into more meltable shapes.
my shit, can't she?
Yes.
What a cool kid.
Um,
Okay.
to an extent.
Well, for reference then.
So you've got Luft, possibly Trey, and Rusa all working together, and then Marley cheerleading you to victory.
I'm glad. Actually, and that was another one. Can I request that Enriya comes and sings a song so I can get bardic magic and give me a hand? Just,
Bardic inspiration.
yeah, this is definitely
Okay.
not out of character. This is just like asking her for her calming, soothing songs while
Sure.
I hit play.
So
Anyway,
with
the point being,
yeah,
to make a set of half plate, it will take, what is it, 750 on? It will take 15 weeks of work equivalently.
yes, but
Solomon-
through Channel Divinity. Through
Solomon
Rusa.
has 20 weeks of work backed up that he can use, including this week's stuff.
Yeah.
So I can make a suit of half plate.
She doesn't. Yeah, again, you can give her like a.
Yeah, but the problem is if I make a suit of half plate, I'll just give it to one of these guys and they can give her their armor.
That also works.
Yeah, because that was the plan originally.
Yeah.
I can't possibly do my own plate armor because that would take 30 weeks unless I can somehow source 10 weeks from like 4 people.
Again,
Unless
you
I
do
pay
have
for
quite a lot of gold. If you just want to go buy an extra set of armor, you can do that.
I don't have that much. I've got 300 gold. Each of these is like plates 1500. So
I understand that, but if you wanted to like make a collective, like if you all chucked in like 50, you could buy her like light armor.
I can buy a breastplate for that.
If you all chucked in 50,
We could all buy a breastplate, yeah.
that's 400. You could buy a breastplate.
You're wearing scale. You're wearing Tywin. You're wearing scale.
I'm in.
I'm in chain.
Chainmail.
You're in chain. What sort of scab ass shit is that? Oh my god!
It's starting, dude.
Yeah, it is.
I thought you started in scale. Okay, that's terrible then. Yeah, I'll make sure you got something better than that.
No thanks. No thanks. Not
I
right
do
now.
not accept any
What do you
form
mean
of
not right
help.
now?
If Trey's got a thing where if it's not like materials from her hometown, she's not gonna accept it.
I did not know that, you freak.
That's why she makes a point of any time she goes to look for metal, it's from Naya.
Yeah,
Because
you have
that's
Okay.
that's
yeah.
all she wants to work
Why
with.
didn't I know this like 2 weeks ago? Okay, anyway. Either way,
Stuart's having a panic
someone's getting a breastplate, which I'll eventually turn into half plate, and that's a lot easier then. Because if I don't have to worry about you, you get screwed. Taiwan, Taiwan, you're wearing what are you wearing?
Scale.
Scale. Okay, so I can give you a breastplate. It'll get.
I thought it was chain, but I'll check.
Pretty sure I checked your thing.
Taiwan's wearing scale now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I remember looking at other people's other things. Solomon, then, in that case, that saves a bit of effort. Solomon will make a breastplate, which takes 4 weeks of work. Which he
Sure.
can
But again, with the four of you like all working together, like she can mimic partially your tunnel divinity, which helps speed up time. She can also partially mimic your heat metal, which speeds up time. Luft has artifice and knowledge and become proficient with any tools you want. She already has smithing expertise. So all in all, roll a d20 at advantage, add the bardic inspiration, and then on top,
how much for the bardic? D6?
D6.
Namu, my dear?
Huh?
How much for your bardic inspiration?
And then on top of that, tack another +4 on that.
1d6.
+4 flat.
Just +4 for that.
29.
Yeah. I mean,
So how much does that make me? Because
what? So that would make you what?
like I said, I've currently got 20 weeks.
Right. So you can pump out that breastplate. Like under crunch.
That's 4 weeks. Yep.
Right.
16. Do I get my own plate? That's equivalent to 15 weeks of work from 4 people though.
Yeah.
In 1 week. Or can I pay to have a bit more done?
Yeah, you could definitely ask like a smith hand and chuck in like 5 gold to help, like 5 gold, and you basically get like a super qualified smith to also assist you in that role. Okay. And with that, you could get armor done for one of these guys so that they can give their armor to Russo.
So that's the best
and
plate.
you could also probably finish off your plate.
Okay, you comfortable with that then? Good with that? Fantastic.
Okay, so who's getting what right now? Like what armor are you giving? Is
arbitrarily, Solomon's making a breastplate and he's bestowing it upon Tywin.
Okay,
so he strips. He just like walks up to Tywin. Falling in battle was disgraceful. I understand your form is not made of steel as I am. And while I cannot entirely fix
that... Look, the man
weak,
works in the forge, so he understands how to burn.
Solomon's so angry this morning.
While your form is not entirely clad in armor as I am, I can fix an element of your weakness. And he would like to present just this gleaming sort of... It's well made, actually. What am I saying? Solomon knows his shit. He presents to you a well-made, quite simple and smooth breastplate. To
if I accept this from you, do I also have to accept the words you just said at me?
I care not whether you accept them, they are true.
Alright, then I'll take it.
And in return, I ask for your armor existing. It must be refitted for Rusa.
Alright. If it's for Rusa...
No!
There you go.
Just out of curiosity, have you like engraved the fragile contents, handle with care, onto the breastplate?
You are more than welcome to put that on the inside if you want.
No one look at me.
Canonically speaking, if you want to come up and say,
in the closet, yes.
Because you know this is going to Tywin. You hear that, Tywin?
No. I was thinking about how naked Scale Mail makes you. Surely Scale Mail goes over the top, right?
Yeah. No,
Scale Mail is like basically like a thick like shirt.
Look it up. No, it's pretty solid. It's like chainmail, but it's also flattened. So
no, I'm just making sure when I take it off, I have clothes.
You have clothes on top.
Good. All right.
Anyway.
So sorry. What was I supposed to hear?
I've added it to your character sheet.
Oh, cool.
All you need to do is refresh.
Yeah.
Tarina has added something to the inside of it, an inscription, if you will.
So essentially, it doesn't change your armor class, but you no longer have disadvantage on stealth.
I'm gonna be fucking stealthy then, because I gave myself a fuck ton of stealth to counteract the disadvantage.
Yes.
So now I'm gonna be.
And at some
so
point,
you're no longer at disadvantage. You just basically.
Now we don't need a roll.
And if you ever got like medium armor master, which is unlikely, or better yet, I can give you better armor. Then I can also get you better armor, and well, if I find mithril, then you also get no disadvantage. Anyway, where do I get this goddamn metal then?
She has some ingots. She's already sourced some, like a few.
Okay.
But not enough to make an
I
entire.
don't think I have anything in my equipment about that, by the way.
I think you went hunting for someone and found like a small bit.
Yeah.
So if you want to add that on, you can. Not enough to make an armor set, as I said, but definitely a start. Okay, and I'm also going to remove the current armor you have, just so Rusa can have it.
I already did it.
Okay, cool.
In that case, Solomon, I'm considering basically done with that. I'll do the role play of switching.
Yeah, so you've got your plate?
We're going to have another session, do you reckon, before this big cataclysm? Because I would really like to do this with Romy there, but if not, it's okay. Just because Luft helping me change armor is really cute.
I mean,
We'll dedicate a whole session to it. This
Yeah.
is-
we can. It depends on how much you get done. Like I think because if we take a break now and start, I think it might start today.
That's okay. Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, let us know when I'm considered to have it done, and I'll swap.
Well, no, yeah, like
I've done it.
at the end of at the end of the few days of work, like pretty much, I would say you gain and then also through long rest lose the level of exhaustion just working yourself.
Sick.
So don't worry about like adding it, but yeah, you have full plate armor.
Solomon at this point, then it takes him a while to put it on. But holy shit, boys! You've seen like that image that I sent you in the thing of the guy. I'll find it actually. Long story short, the images that you've seen of Alphonse, the ones I've sent, that's what he now looks like. It's all smooth steel. It's all pauldrons and everything, spiked, huge bands of iron here. He still has his huge steam harness at the back, big plates. Did you say like blocks of ether or something? However you represent them.
Yeah, so they're basically glowing luminous red crystals embedded into the armor itself.
You can see like little glints of them coming out from between the gaps of it.
Yeah, especially like where the armor chinks meet.
You see him testing it one day, and you can see like as he's like pretending as though he's going to absorb a blow, and you can see all the plates when he goes to like each one changing up, which is the heavy armor master at work.
Yeah.
At which point Solomon is just clank, clank, and I'm happy. Yay! AC at 23. Only 5 points more, guys, and we'll be there.
We're at level 5.
Chuck me a text, just saying that, so that I know to update your character card.
I should have given
Oh,
him the
yeah.
elixir of resilience.
Yes.
Bold of you to assume
Bump that
anything
up
hits
to
him.
20.
Nah, you watch me. I'll just cast Shield of Faith and sit there and dodge.
And get someone to cast
Should have
haste
faith in dodge action every turn.
I think Romy can. Like soon.
That's like it's a while later. It's like 9th or something, isn't it? So, anyway,
Yeah.
Solomon has his armor. I'll worry about the RP of that later. That's
Okay.
good. He now looks just like Alphonse, and it's just as angry. Well, no, wait, way more angry. Alphonse was a kid.
Yes.
And that's done, I think. And I'll help in a minute. And I apologize, Trey. I would have forged a similar suit for you, but I did not understand your qualms about different sourcing of steel.
That's okay.
The quality of the metal I would understand, but its origin.
What the fuck is wrong with Solomon?
I know.
Solomon has -1 charisma. I remembered to roleplay that today.
Eat a Snickers. You're not you when you're
I
hungry,
have
buddy.
not walked today and
Not
Solomon,
having a mouth.
Stuart reread his character
Look.
sheet and went in traits and attributes. Grouch.
Yeah, look, it's at some
Oscar.
point we'll have a break and I'll eat that food and I'll come back and Solomon will be like, "Oh, I apologize. It's so good to be back."
Sorry, Master.
Who needs to
Wayne.
have a conversation with me next?
I think
that was it.
Yeah, I think
No, done.
What did you want to do?
I'm just hanging out for you.
That's so suspicious.
Like a
Stop
bad
that.
smell.
Okay, thank you.
This
ladies
whole
and gentlemen.
time.
So should we take a break or
Yes, we should.
Yes.
Alright, we will be back very soon. See you soon.
Welcome back. Thank you, Alex, for that lovely addition to the fading. It's a new one, but I'm sure it will catch on.
So up there with things
There
like
will be moaning noises at the end of every break from now on, I suppose. Anyway, jumping in, for the purposes of narrative, let's call it the end of the 10th of the month. So, is there any other preparation you want to do?
Can I please try and convince Rusa to at least not be in the city when this happens? She can help us. She's done an incredible job helping us be better armored and everything.
Sure, make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Rusa, please, I beg you. Your father would not have us put you in this peril.
He's in the background just going,
Okay.
Ooh, that would have been good. It was persuade -1, so it's 4.
4? Oh, yeah. Your persuasive level is just, do this. No.
Please!
okay.
Someone say please.
I asked nicely.
Do this right now.
Please is a
no.
manner. He doesn't use those. Manners.
Anyway,
Hey.
yeah,
even
she
have
looks
the
at you, she's like,
Spaghetti?
Yes. Spaghetti.
I have to help. My help is best given here. Anyway. Yeah, so is there anything else you want to do to prepare?
At least please stay away from the danger if it presents itself.
Make another persuasion check.
And what else?
Nah, the damage is already done.
Damage is already done. What else do we need to do, gang? Is there anything?
Start preparing this child.
Trey's
Well, can we go?
Sorry.
Trey's just laying out like really casual clothes in her room.
Really? So you want those?
Like casual clothes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? That's the Chekhov's gun. If I ever heard of one.
I'm concocting another potion between days.
I'm probably gonna get it by like an outfit or a dress that is a little bit more fighting accessible. And then,
I'm gonna drink a Tywin's Bane.
Okay.
Yeah, have those.
yo, we should get
I
drunk.
mean, you can
sometime.
ask for a similar drink.
We need to see if we can spread that round.
What's that?
You don't have Tywin's Bane?
You don't have to. Have you never heard of Tywin's Bane?
Tywin, an assassin who's trying to keep like undercover and spreading his name across the world.
Let me tell you how to make it.
Rusa, how
He's
does
gonna have to pick
Tywin's
up-
Bane?
I'm told it feels like being killed by Tywin himself.
Anyway,
Yo.
yes, you can describe a similar drink and get the equivalent of a Tywin's Bane. It's not
it
as
won't be the same.
not as good,
Which one?
like in terms of the flavor, but it's just as good in the alcoholic content.
Yeah, it's just an imposter brand like Ty Lose.
Ty King.
Um,
That was the first consideration.
but yes, any other preparations you would like to see out? Tarina, Califil, Tywin, Sigmund, Marley?
Can we find out how because you said there was this, so you reckon that our options were either terrorism,
No, not terrorism. Sabotage.
sabotage the infrastructure of a city
On a domestic level.
terrorism, okay, or somehow stop one of these 6 things from working the next day, right?
Yes. That's what Luft procured with an natural 20.
Can we scout the crap out of those things then, or at least figure out what will go down the next day? Like, will there be celebrations at those, or
Yeah.
what's at each of the 6?
Weirdly
pillars?
enough, the celebration is in the center of the city.
But what's at the 6 pillars then?
At the 6 pillars, you come across what look like, to the untrained eye, because you've got a high passive perception, to the untrained eye, just look like kind of like business blocks, like some buildings. Each of them, though, has a very subtle tilt towards the center of the city.
Damn.
That's the highest
If
passive
only we
perception.
had Neovara.
We just
and
need
knack
to
for
like
finding
have
explosives.
a hammer
What's your passive
and
perception?
just hammer it back straight. You know?
I took
You
those
know what I'm
up.
saying?
I mean, surely we could find the black market. There's a black market.
Look, Califil was like,
17.
If she found
Look,
grenades
I'm
quick
gonna
enough
look
to get
well.
herself
I need to see.
sentenced to death.
Look good
Just
and look good.
Get a Ouija board. Where is the grenades?
Yavara, where are the grenades at?
Gun
Is there
store.
a spell that contacts a spirit or undead thing?
yeah,
Absolutely.
contact on the plane.
Okay, other plane would get her, right?
Well, nearby,
Maybe.
yes.
Nice! It's on the list. It's gonna happen one day.
Didn't even I was
Crossover
like, what the
episode.
fuck? Stop calling.
New phone, who dis?
Can't you see I'm busy?
Look, I'm in a new area code.
Grenades at gun store. Don't at me again. Bye.
I'm not helping
Nearby.
anymore.
If you're looking for grenades, go to the gun store. Otherwise, fuck off.
Oh,
have a
she
good
would
day.
never. She'd be like, oh, Solomon, grenades. Hang up.
Anyway, so back on topic.
Oh, and just that was it. I would let Theodore know of our plans and of the stubbornness of his daughter.
Yes.
In exactly those words.
His response.
I'm going to tell your dad. Yep.
His response essentially equates to
That's my girl.
kind of that's my girl, but like in the sense that you cannot convince her of anything that she doesn't want to do.
Yeah, more of a that's my girl. That's
I'm concerned, but I am also greatly relieved that you are by her side, which at least she's not going into this alone. Is his general response. If this altercation can be delayed, then my guards may arrive in time to assist you. But if that is unlikely,
Do we know how many men he sent?
he sent like all the ones that he sent with you the first time around.
Oh,
Your boys.
the
your
6 boys.
Yeah, your boys.
The boys, yep.
Just 6 boys.
Yeah.
I trained them. That's sad. I hope they don't die.
Any other preparations before we call it a long rest? And
It's not really a preparation, but like, before going to sleep, I will write another letter to Apollo, and I haven't really written anything, but it basically sums down to, in a little pickle with the Order, things could go very wrong, and if that happens, I might be back in X1, and probably in deep trouble. But if that does happen, I hope to see you soon.
Kisses. Cal.
You guys see the giraffe as if it's in space, sort of floating through the air and like trying to swim in midair as it's like rotating.
Ow.
I just made a flying potion.
I forgot, yeah.
What are you doing? It's like, what are you
Can
doing,
I
little
try and
creature?
communicate Halo in a similar way that he reached me?
Do not worry.
I know it will be. It's
He's
not a
not
spell.
a
it's
bird,
like-
but he has learned to fly.
in deep prayer over
And then he falls from the sky and I catch him.
Very
Okay.
proud of him.
Well, looks
I
like it
regret
lasts
it.
10 minutes. Good to know.
his focus seems a little distant at this point in time. But yeah. In which case,
Leave a message.
After the beep.
if there is nothing else to be done, let's call it a long rest, and you wake up the following morning on the 11th of the 3rd.
I would particularly wake up as the sun is rising.
You can already see there is like heavy celebration about
Yeah.
like flyers and streamers, confetti.
Molly is an early riser.
Unlike the normal top knot hairstyle that Trey normally has, she's opted for this big braid around her horns filled with flowers.
That's really.
And then she's wearing just like this really worn sweater with a couple of holes, and then over the top is this jacket that's been drawn on by is just children's drawings of balloons and streamers, and like their names are written all everywhere across from it. And she's just heading to the place to send.
Yeah, the communication station.
Yeah.
You had that.
But she would make sure to say good morning, and that she would be back momentarily.
Understood.
Yes,
I will relay
Sigmund.
the message to the others when they awaken.
That's good
From
to
their
know,
slumber.
buddy. From this.
Oh, if you were gonna say good morning to everyone.
Alright, count one count. I just.
Sorry, Devin?
Oh, if she's saying good morning to everyone, that's something I remember to do.
Okay.
When she sees you like here and stuff, she gets so flustered and she's like, oh, good morning today. You look beautiful today.
I put a lot of effort in.
I can see. And she like gets her like, she's yellow,
Hey,
right?
have you got a fever?
Yeah, she's like
Trey would
turning.
just put her hand on.
I'm trying to think. Would she be like her blush be darker yellow?
It'd be more of like kind of like a yellow purple mix.
Oh, she's like turning slightly purple.
You okay?
Yes. It's just
You're
very
a
hot
little
today.
warm. Yeah. It's definitely not.
Allow
Are you
me
sure?
to see.
Yeah, Sigmund, You make sure that Nemi's feeling
Tyrion
okay.
handling all
We've
the
got a big
psychological
day,
bullshit,
right?
and then Sigmund handling
Purple skin. I
I'm
have
with
this in
Solomon.
my notebook
Alright.
somewhere.
I'm with Solomon.
Yeah, no, like,
Oh.
I'm just speaking more generally. If there's a psychological emergency called Tyrion, if there's a medical
Titus.
emergency called Sigmund.
No.
Titus. She's not actually a tiefling. She just got sick.
Alright.
Yep.
Well, I'll be back. Don't stress about me. It's something I've got to do.
Okay. Bye.
I'm just groggy sleep, like, stay safe,
Yeah.
please.
Kelly, yeah.
How do I do?
How did I do to Sigmund? How did I do? That's a very...
Is it good?
I like the idea of just
I
like
do not
in
know.
downtime, just meditating on either the roof or so, just climbing outside, just for that greater perspective and
No,
sight
yeah.
and all.
I'll nod to Molly.
Oh no, well if I'm on the roof, I guess you wouldn't see me.
Yeah.
So like I can jump down and
No,
query you before you depart.
that's if you want to, but otherwise I'm just...
It's already happened.
Oh.
What do you have to?
I found this communication station more in the central part of the city, so I'm just heading over there to send off a couple of messages, and then we'll be back to prepare for what we're about to face today.
There's something different about you. I can't quite pick it.
I'm pretty sure I'm the same.
Probably
It could be
yeah.
chicken. Chicken's got like a really cool purple flower.
I knew it was something.
Yeah, see?
Alright, I'll see you later.
Right?
And there is my good addition to that.
Then I'll head over to the communication station, and I'll immediately pay the sum because I've worked out what.
So 21 gold.
Yeah. And then I kind of just sit down and just breathe a little bit and just start with
First time you've been breathing all day.
the big like the heavy breath.
So the first question you ask before you like read off the messages: do you have anything of the recipient, like any sort of personal artifact to establish connection?
Well, the jacket would be
Okay.
the main one,
Okay.
and then I have a specific pendant as well for it's like a side message to send along with it. That's all included within the 21. So should just kind of clutch onto the jacket a bit more and just go, hey kiddos, I'm sorry that I couldn't be with you physically for our big day of celebration. I've made sure to match our festive attire though, so do not worry. How are you guys? Have you been listening to Sister Clementine? I have so many tales to tell you guys, but my time is short. I promise to get home for a visit soon. However, I have some work to complete first. Chicken is growing big and strong as always, and we have met a few friends now too. I can tell that you have all become great kids. Make sure to smile extra wide for me when people come to visit. Hopefully you will all write about your new families to me soon. And then she'll hold on to the pendant and talk specifically to Sister Clementine and go, I hope they've all been well. I'm still worried about Milo. Is he recovering okay? I'll send through some money soon to cover for the medication costs. I will not be too long. Stay safe.
The kids are very excited to hear your voice. They're all... It's very much a cacophonous them talking over each other. You get bits and pieces. Yay, chicken, growing green strong. There's elements of impatient, when will you return to life? Yeah. There's bits and pieces of them just talking about like stuff they've been working on, like, you know. One of the kids has done like a big drawing and stuff like that. Sister Clementine talks more about you know. She doesn't want you to feel like you have to do that, like for Milo. That they're obviously trying to cover Milo's medication as best as possible, and yeah, the general vibes are good.
Yeah. Okay. With that, Trey will get up, pat Chicken a little bit, and head back to the inn. But along the way, she'll grab a streamer and just kind of wear it around like a little scarf.
Yeah, so as you walk by, like as you go to like, hell yeah, welcome to the winter solstice celebrations. You just see like one of the like a younger teenager could just like point at you and go, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. What normally happens?
Well, we just kind of gather in the city, like in the center of the city, and we light a bunch of candles and let them drift off. It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. What are the candles? What kind of candles? I'm a big candle freak, you know? Like, is it like soy? Is it...
I think it's wax candles.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Anything cool? Is it just generic candles? Like, that seems a bit...
Like, you can put in whatever candle you want. They don't have to be wax candles. Like, you can put in scented candles that you enjoy. Get to smell them as they drift off.
I mean, the deities always help. Always mindful about that. But, I mean, hey, have fun with your celebrations. Maybe I'll see you at the center tonight.
Me too. Candles. Yes.
Chicken people are so weird. Candles? Who cares about candles, man? Yeah, anyway.
You head back? Yeah, so what's the plan, gang?
Do we go look at one of the 6 thingers? Or is there anything you think we either have to bring down a building or figure out, anticipate where she's going to do this roach?
Well, how many is there in the family this far?
Well, there's 4, 5 question marks, depending on how well that dad's feeling. But,
There's 5, unless...
but we know that it's the daughter who we reckon will be the troublemaker here.
Considering that Tywin was dead 5 days ago and is now doing alright, it's safe to assume that Dad's probably doing alright too.
Well, no.
Well,
I bet those guys.
Solomon and also some unseen forces.
Yeah, I bet
we
those guys
know
don't have
about.
2 dads, so we're probably one up on them in that regard. This is the bit where I just don't know what to do, and I don't like it.
We could try to sabotage any of the mechanisms, but
We don't
I don't know
understand.
what
it.
to say.
Let me lay out the facts for you. Luft understands what the mechanisms are at this point. She's done a lot of research over her downtime.
Yeah.
So she understands what the mechanisms at play here. So I'm not going to make the decision for Luft, but if whatever you ask of Luft, she has a reasonable confidence within a skill check to sabotage or modify or destroy the devices. So as I said, your 2 options are destroy the devices or directly stop the
trigger.
ritual.
Okay. Luft, do you, with your knowledge, can you tell us where they may complete this component, where the trigger will exact itself?
I'd assume if all the buildings have some sort of axial tilt towards the center of the city, that they're all... Wait, why am I talking like that? Why am I talking like whispers?
Yeah.
I think they will all converge on the center of the city. Based on where the buildings are pointing, I think they're meant to redirect energy. Think of the metal in the ground as a massive tuning fork. For this massive spell, you need a massive tuning fork. So the ground is the tuning fork. The buildings are kind of like
The focus.
directing. They're the focus, and the central pillar in the city is kind of like a divining rod.
Okay. So
while each device will require some sort of activation at the edge of the city, the final activation to trigger the shift will happen in the center. And based on the designs, it can't be remotely done. Someone needs to physically be there to activate it.
do you believe that if one or more of these focuses were removed, the device would fail?
So basically they're arranged in a hexagonal pattern to capture the hexagon of the city, right? But if you just take out one of the points, then you're just going to intersect the city. Instead of taking the entire city, you just take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then...
So you need to get all 6 of them, or you need to get whatever's in the center.
Yes. But yeah, the problem is, if you take out one of the corner ones, it just takes 5/6 of the city.
The 2 will... Wait, so are you saying that it will stop that if we take out one of them?
So if you take out one of
the
the nodes,
will it draw a line across the region?
it will just connect the 2 vertices.
So if we get rid of 2, we will save half the city.
No, I think it's 3 to save half.
No, it's 2 because you have 2 down the bottom and 2 here.
That's
So
true.
go straight across to the middle.
That's true.
2 would stop half the city disappearing, but it also subdivides the city.
And if we take out 4, we save everything but a very thin line straight through the middle.
So let's do
That's true.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, like, yeah. Right?
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's a pretty good plan. But we need to reliably get all 4, otherwise we're gonna just make it just as bad.
Terraina's got a good plan. The only issue I see with that is it's going to create a massive fault line.
Exactly. It's still gonna cause a huge amount of havoc, but it might not move the whole city. So it's the question.
Because the replacement isn't instantaneous, because the massive amounts of energy needed to convert to channel a randomized plane upgrade into an area means that you could channel it into a specific line across the city, but that line will disappear first. There will be a gap there for a bit. The new section of whatever this randomized terrain comes in, and then but by that time the fault line's already collapsing on itself.
What if I just keep shooting whoever tries to activate it in the middle with an arrow?
I believe that should be our last resort, for we barely triumphed with the last encounter we had against these.
Right, but they're
outlaws.
probably not going to be sending their top dogs to do activating something in the middle, right?
The very vision we base these plans upon showed at least the daughter, if not the rest of the family close behind.
Hmm. I mean, if the daughter doesn't see me coming, I could kill her in one shot, I reckon.
As opposed to last time, where you fell in battle, Tywin.
They saw me coming.
Do you consider yourself recovered at this point?
I'm as strong as I need to be to do this.
I mean, it's clear that this daughter is completely and utterly head over heels for Khalifa. It's quite possible that we could once again distract her from her
Visibility.
duties.
Back away.
And,
Leave conversation.
well, perhaps the plan won't come to fruition if she's otherwise occupied.
I don't think that's the case anymore after that spell.
You'd be surprised. Love is truly a powerful emotion.
I don't want to be surprised.
Does Luft know what enacting the ritual itself, like the final trigger for the ritual?
That's just the casting of the spell.
Okay. And in what does she know anything about what that spell would be like? Or not really?
Plane shift.
Oh,
It's plane shift cast at
oh.
cast with massive amounts of material components.
Okay.
Channeled across an entire city. But what the interception pylons do, the little devices,
Is they spread, okay.
is they
But so
evenly
it's literally the spell plane shift.
It is the spell plane shift being cast. It's also the other modification that Luft can figure out is that it'll be like a ritual instead of like instantaneous casting of plane shift.
Okay.
What if we were
I have.
to be creating some sort of havoc or confusion in the center so that they can't activate it, and while that's happening, Luft and other people or someone else are going around and sabotaging each thing?
Yeah, split party.
I was thinking that, but I don't. No one likes that, of course. Okay.
I mean, I have the capacity to stay in contact despite sending ourselves off on different directions.
Indeed.
I'm willing to help protect and defend whatever group feels like they'll be in danger the most.
I suspect everyone would be in danger in this situation.
I feel like some will be more in danger than others. Tywin.
Oh.
I think the ones who are making havoc
Everyone's
in the middle
coming
are
for
probably
jugular.
going to be
I
most.
was about to say that.
Everyone's coming for Tywin's jugular.
Everyone's attacking Tywin. This isn't okay.
He literally comes back to life the day before and everyone's just coming at him.
Okay, so as the day progresses, let's say it hits about midday.
Wait. Oh God. Okay. Yep.
Hey, if you don't think we can do this, we can always leave the city.
We
like
do
I
not have
originally
the
said.
time, nor do we have Bruce's willingness.
We have the time to leave the city.
Child has constrained us here, so we must make best efforts.
Don't think it'd be right to leave the city.
Alright, well, we need to come up with something quick.
I'm willing to wreak havoc if we need to.
I believe we must make haste. to either disable these pylons and risk damaging the city far more than transporting it, or intercept the family themselves at the center of this beast.
At this point, Rusa chimes in. Perhaps we can use my powers in conjunction with Mali's to figure out what exactly happens where.
If you can harness your powers that well, child, then by all means, I see no downside to this plan.
It would require magical energy to, like, I can't conjure magical power. It's an absorption-based system. If I need people to power this ability, in some form.
I don't know magic.
Yeah, if only we had some warlocks who get all their spell slots back on a short rest.
Yeah, that'd be nice. If only those warlocks had useful spells.
No. She's not asking you to cast a specific spell. She's asking you to expend spell slot energy.
That's what I expected.
So this would basically be a
You may use some of my power, child.
yes.
Just if it is what you require.
She's asking expenditure of spell slot. And the more energy slots levels that you expend into it, the higher the chance of success. But this is basically a group task. But of course, it's with Marnie's consent. So like, she turns towards Marnie and she's like, "It would require your powers as well."
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Found it.
What's Payne saying?
Well, without very little hesitation, she kind of grabs Marley's arm. So, what are people doing?
I will assist with my power.
Okay.
Sigmund
So,
grabs
what,
on to
what are you
her
expending? Like, what level
No.
spells?
I'm gonna do 2 first level spells.
2 first level spells?
I'm also going to do 2 first.
2 first level spells? Anyone else?
All I can do is
I can't use magic.
What do you mean you can't use
I
magic?
can't use magic.
Tarina doesn't believe.
Tarina, this would be a really good time to use some
I have
psychology.
this in my book.
I can
Oh.
expend my 3
Somewhere.
first.
This doesn't seem like
You
a
don't have to do it.
psychological
Whatever you want to spend,
situation,
you don't have to
friend.
do
All
it.
the same, it may help.
I'll donate 1 then.
Please.
Okay.
That's fair then.
4 skills. 1 psychology. 2 not magic. So it's in the top 3.
If only I could use magic, I'd be able to help too. God damn it.
So, Sigmund's done 2,
Yeah.
Trey's done 2 first levels. You've done 1 first level. Sure.
I will expend a second level spell
Okay, so that brings it
slot.
up to 7. That's a total of 7.
What about you, Caliphil?
Fuck it, I'll use one of my 3rd level out of 2.
Ooh.
Well, I only have 2 3rd levels.
Yeah,
Brings it up to 10.
that's how warlocks work.
Yeah, but what if you just took a rest?
clearly some
afterwards?
care more than others.
Why don't you use both?
I don't know how much time we have.
Well, it's midday.
I mean, it's midday and it happens at like 9:14 p.m.
Cool.
Get a long rest in.
Sure. Okay, so as Russo grabs Marley's hand, each person who does contribute to the ritual, essentially, including you, is allowed 1 question. You can ask 1 question pertaining to the event, and you'll get an answer through magical vision or such.
Okay.
How can I waste this?
No!
That is exactly my line of thinking.
How will I solve
So
this
we-
Rubik's Cube?
So what are the intentions? Like, surely we discussed what we want to get out of this
Yes.
going in. So
Sure.
like, we can kind of,
Ascertain information about it.
yeah.
You are allowed 1 question about the event, and you will get an answer through vision.
For each of us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Each of you who contributed to the ritual.
Right. It doesn't matter if someone did a 1st level or a 3rd level.
No, but that was just helping it go along. Like
Yeah.
it basically together you did 10 levels worth of spells. It gave her a plus 10 to the roll.
Where will
Oh, nice.
the most dangerous individuals be?
That's not bad.
Okay. So your vision turns into this misty white smoke, reforming into the center of the city. You see like commoners milling about, and then you see a powerful crack of black electrical energy channel into the central spire, seemingly designed to be like a decoration for the city, but masking a larger kind of like glass shard in the center of the city. you see, you wouldn't recognize him but you see the son, not Cedric. You see Harry, holding basically what looks like a dead man switch in his hand.
Okay.
Do we all see this
Yes.
collectively? Yeah.
Surprised he didn't ask something like, in the confusion, where's the best place to turn a profit?
Who is the most injured in this battle?
Where will I find the injured?
He doesn't even really get paid for his work, so he doesn't care about profit.
His payment is
was
being
a
allowed to
Sigmund.
continue to experiment.
Oh, yeah, that's right, not Tywin.
Yeah. Tywin can't do magic. So
Talon, what,
Yeah.
any questions you have? One question. You'll receive an answer from it.
How do I not be stupid?
Is that your question?
No.
How will I not be stupid on this day?
Impossible.
I cannot answer that.
It's like a magic
Yeah.
ball.
Answer not frown. Try again.
Uh,
In the meantime, does anyone else have their question? Nemu, do you have one?
I have one, but it's really messed up.
Fine, do it.
Oh no, but I can't because it would determine stuff.
Ask your question. Do it. Like if it's a roleplay, do it.
She kind of like froze over and goes, "Do we suspect anybody will die?"
Okay.
But if that seems like it's you wouldn't like know as DM, then I can ask someone else.
No, I can
Well,
tell you.
apparently we're looking only at potential futures, right? So
Just shows Nemu dead.
we're just like,
So what was your question?
Is there a chance someone could die? Or like, is someone going to die?
Sure. Your vision goes like this misty white again, and your vision reforms at the center of the cataclysm as this like crack of black electrical energy slams into this glass shard. You see like large sizable chunks of it go like crack off and fly into like civilians, impaling them and killing them instantly.
without context, we just hear you go, nice.
She's like, good. You know, she kind of like tenses up and like flinches as it happens. Like,
Yeah.
So no one pertaining to the party was witnessed.
I think these visions are what happens if we don't intervene.
That is a potential interpretation.
Caliphil, Trey, Solomon,
Yeah.
and Mali.
I'm just thinking it kind of matters how the spell's cast on. So you said it was like a dead man's switch.
yeah.
So someone has done all this and then they're just gone, and it happens. You reckon?
If you know how artificers can load up spells into objects, this is what it is. Luft can tell you that for free.
So we still have, but you said it was going to be cast as a ritual sort of
Yes,
thing.
it's been cast as a ritual into an object.
So it's already been cast.
No. So
They're doing the casting and then they're going to press the button.
yes. So like how artificers work at higher levels is they can store spells in objects,
Okay, yeah.
and they can then just trigger that object.
Yeah.
For the purposes of narrative, I'd flavor that as a dead man switch. When the dead man switch is triggered, the pre-cast ritual spell will go off.
So from their vision, we know that it will be Harry casting the spell. Then.
Yes.
Okay.
Potentially.
DM, can I ask you a
might-
question?
Yes.
I might leave the next question then. When is the most opportune time to interfere in the ritual?
Okay. Once again, your vision goes this misty white, and you reform back. You reform. You don't know where you are. You find yourself in this catacomb of sewers, and you see Harry like hurriedly rush to. Hurriedly rush to this console, typing things in, and seemingly casting something under his breath. You see, not with him, but like on like a black slate screen thing. He's like, you see a video footage of like him talking to his father, and his sister.
Well, there you go. Father's alive.
They're on a Zoom call.
Yeah. This is a meeting.
It's a potential future.
Yeah, the father and the sister. The sister's explaining how the pylons themselves work because she was the one who designed them, and they're talking through the process. The sister seems somewhat annoyed that she wasn't there to see her creation go off. But then the father goes, Helena, you're too easily distracted. Harry's the best candidate for this. And then you see the 9 of you spring out and attack Harry. And that's what you're doing next.
Pog, as they say.
Is that implying that
Right.
Roosa is part of that attack as well?
10 then, sorry, my bad, 10.
Who's got questions left? Just me.
Solomon and
And
Marley
Otherwise, that being
and Calico.
Sigmund and Tywin.
Yes, Sigmund Tywin.
Well, I
1, 2, and 3 have questions left.
What is the weakest point to disable the system?
As your vision overcomes you, you find yourself at what seems like the southwestern corner of the city, and you notice just a minor imperfection in one of the interception pylons.
we figured out we don't want to bug them up though, because it's just gonna. It's gonna invert them, but that's not gonna work.
Solomon and Marley, any question for me?
We need to figure out how we find them, how we find this catacomb, if we're going to do the whole 9 of us spring on Harry.
Rats.
Well, yeah, that's a possibility for sure, but it means relying on them over God.
Scout rats.
You want to go first? You got anything good? It's going to be funny either way, I know it. You had like 10 minutes to think up the stupidest question you can manage.
No.
I find the most prized possession to steal during.
So it's
So
actually
many
pertaining
rat
to this
puzzles.
particular event, or
Yes.
about anything?
Rooster's channeled her powers to specifically amplify your powers about the specific event.
How will Rooster's abilities be utilized during this?
You see
That's good.
the vision overtake you, and you find yourself in a much different state of the city. The black electric energy has already been channeled into the central spire, and you see in like a hexagonally spreading pattern. Those roads seem to glow intensely, leading up to the outermost spires. And as the ability channels up, you see Rusa roughly at the apex of where those beams will all interconnect, and then you see kind of like this shifting and coalescing orb growing larger and larger in Rusa's hand.
So she's doing something to affect the other.
Absorbing.
So, was that funny enough for you?
No, that was yeah,
was
thank you.
Very
Thank
serious and very good.
I was worried, but we were all good. I've got a decent one. Does anyone think of anything we need to ask that's more important?
How many birds were in the sky that day?
Birds in the sky that day.
I like
So as a vision
mine
overtakes
having
you,
experience as well.
You see one bird.
A single bird.
it's Nemu, the
Zero
droid, turns
birds.
into a bird.
Yeah, she's like pigeon mode. She's
It's like Nocturna with the bat. Bat.
Where will I find each member of the Eklak family this day?
That was the other question I wanted to ask, so thank you.
Okay, so your vision overtakes you, and you find yourself kind of more like in a flash frame of like where each member is. At the central spire, you see Cedric holding the dead man switch.
Harry.
No, Cedric.
Cedric.
Yes, yes.
Different people can see in the future, champ. Yep.
Interesting.
You see the mother. You can't discern where she is, but she seems to be. She seems to be stood over another one of those green vats, and you see as the vision starts to fade from the mother specifically, you see what looks like basically an identical clone to Russo in the vat.
Oh shit.
You notice you come to the vision of the father, and the father is on a similar call like to Cedric, instructing him with the other sister in tow.
Do I know where roughly?
For
what it looks like.
The surrounding terrain does not look like
Very
the city.
informative answer.
It looks like you're surrounded by like a lush green forest. Like
Similar to what she was transporting plane ships into?
yes.
Okay.
Does that bring everything to a close?
Yes.
There's two more siblings, sorry.
Harry.
Oh, sorry, Harry.
Oh, sorry, not Harry yet. Sorry.
Harry.
Helena's with the father. The mother is
Same place. So Helena's, we believe, on another plane, or sorry, in this forest with the father.
Yes.
Same place, yeah.
You've seen that. Sorry, I haven't told you where Harry comes from. Harry, you find, is in some sort of underground sewer. Just working on.
Just completely irrelevant to like everything else. We're just in a sewer.
Have you seen the hit 2007 animation DreamWorks movie Flushed Away?
Oh, nice.
But yes,
Okay.
that's where everyone is.
And we kind of shoot out of that.
Yep. And as you come out of that,
How does Risa respond first and foremost
You okay?
with that information?
Did Risa see all of the visions?
yes.
as well?
How's your energy? You alright?
I know what I've got to do.
What was that you were doing in that vision?
Eyes glow red and these horns just kind of shoot out the side, like it starts chanting Latin.
You seem to have a tremendous amount of power.
It's not so much power of my own as it is borrowing other people's abilities. If someone knows how to cast a certain spell, I can for a brief time mimic their abilities.
Did you understand which ability you were mimicking in that vision?
I think part of my abilities include absorbing magic. That's where I can expend that ability. Like think of it like heat. I gain energy at a certain point and then expend it later. This is the gaining part.
I see.
To expend the energy later, I can quiver in exchange. So he puts on tinfoil hat. Or steel foil hat.
Just morphs his like head into the tinfoil hat. Just indeed.
Adamantine
Do you
foil.
want to try and find that sewer system?
That's the main thing. Tywin.
Sewer system? What the fuck?
Oh, you didn't see it, did you? Tywin, we suspect that the younger brother, Harry, the artificer, is at this moment preparing his ritual somewhere below this city, and I would suspect below the central spire. Can you
Right.
track this?
Yes.
Burning down.
Yes.
Yes, he can.
Plot twist.
Hey,
Risa
it
was
takes a
twisting
vermin
his
to
vision.
find a vermin, and rats appear from
Gods be good.
Should we try and look for Cedric too then?
I think he will come to us at this point. Well, assuming that.
Sometime mid-June.
Well, that's how long it'll take for this to actually happen. We're all good.
Yeah, good.
Anyway,
I don't want to fight that boss again. Anyway,
fellas,
let's go.
would you like to take that short rest to regain your
Yes.
slot?
I would.
Sure. So you,
I did take a short rest.
do you get your channel divinities back on a short rest?
Can I?
Not that I
Yes.
would know this because I wasn't
But
part of the
so
vision.
then can I
but-
use
Yeah, you can
a channel
expend-
divinity
channel-
to get
yeah.
one of my spell slots
Yes,
back
That's
and
why
then
I
take a
extended
short
the second
rest?
level, yeah.
Yes. So use your channel divinities and then take your short rest to get your channel divinities back. So in which case, just unuse your. Sorry, what were you saying?
I didn't see the vision, but we may have all been played for fools.
In what regard?
Perhaps the mother's with the Rulerissa and we have a subservient clone.
How would we know?
Yes.
Well, no, this is out of character. I don't know this.
Yes, but fuck. What do we do?
Fuck.
Like, that's great information, but what do I do
I
with
mean,
it? I know. Oh, fuck.
she was pushing hard to stay in the city, and that's possibly because she needs to be in the city to make it work.
My other like stretch of an
What
idea
happened
is
on the boat?
like, what if
What happened on
we're
the boat?
seeing what Rusa wants us to
What
see?
happened on the
What happened on the boat? In the simulation, we were on a boat trying to get out of the simulation. If this is the Rusa we know, what happened on the boat?
Oh, you're asking her.
Yes.
Wait,
You wouldn't know, but whenever she tried to like leave, she'd always return back. Whereas we would always get stopped.
okay, no, I just mean, like, why... is it considered metagaming to ask this?
Yeah,
having
no,
brought that up?
I
Well,
won't
it's
ask
metagaming,
in-game.
me even suggesting it.
But that's a
I
good
won't
point.
ask
This is
in-game.
out of character, where we're like,
This
fuck,
is out
fuck,
of
fuck,
character
fuck.
stuff. I won't ask in game.
I mean,
'Cause
but
she
then
didn't-
again, I see. It's only because you didn't see the
Well,
stupid thing.
I assume
No.
you guys have you not relayed your information to the rest of the
We've
party?
relayed it. We've explained it. So that's
Okay,
that's a valid point.
Then this is a completely valid conversation.
If you would consider Tarina thinking up that, then by all means.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd pick it up.
Because I wasn't there for the original thing, so I didn't think of the whole. Oh, it's a clone, but not the right one. So
And yeah, that's
Well, if
'Cause
that's
I
the
didn't
case,
think
wouldn't
of it.
Tarina say it loudly in front of Rusa?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, then go for it.
what were you asking me then?
Actually, no, I'm probably a bit more tactful than that.
Okay.
Would
I'd
you
probably
have-
take you aside.
my other consideration
Yeah.
is
If
what
this
if
is not spoken in front of everybody,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it.
Yes,
what if
Tarina.
Rusa's seeing what she wants
Well,
us to see?
Solomon, considering
What
what
if
you've
the
just said, is it possible that the version of Rusa that was seen in this hallucination of yours was in fact the real one, and we have with us a clone? Fake?
Tarina, that is a very valid fear given the nature of these act-like creatures and their creations. Yet I have no idea how to discern if it is founded.
Well, I'm thinking, like, in the vision, the Rusa was acting as part of the sort of ritual, sort of absorbing all the energy being channeled by the city.
We believed initially that would be as her sacrifice, should we not succeed.
Or it
You
is
suggest
simply,
it was by intention.
it is quite possible. It could be that the ritual can't actually go ahead without her
Really involved.
assistance. It would make sense considering how hardly fought she's gone to stay within the city. To the extent that she'd attempt to sneak away from
Why are you
us.
asking me this? Look, I just write the story, man. I didn't react to it.
Yeah, but there's no way you haven't like heard that and you're like, oh, cool, yeah.
That is also like.
I'm
she
not
did
going to
try,
actively
like-
change the plot.
She
of the
did
campaign
try and
based on
escape
other-
our
But this
custody
is something
now.
you would do.
No, I specifically wrote this because I knew how much it would hurt you.
Yes, well now it does. You planted this in Hamish's mind and now you've spawned it on us, god damn it.
See, I like this as an opportunity to discuss potential ideas that you could deviate from and potentially modify if you're like, oh, you know what? That'll work. That'll be good. It's a throwaway.
I can't help that I think like a villain.
progress,
Yeah,
but,
and
like,
you do a damn good job of it.
makes
The only
for
way
the
I
story.
can think of fixing this is we put her in the manacles and leave her in the room, and there's like a 50% chance someone with magical powers walks in and she's like, oh, cool, let me just... Someone
That
else-
would be
I'm-
most probably the worst thing to do.
Yeah, but...
No,
You're
no,
assuming
but
the
that is
worst.
most probably the worst.
I mean, I would give her
Because if
fur.
this is the real Rusa, then all trust is
What
gone.
if there never was a Rusa?
The real Rusa are the friends we made along the way.
It's just like a little mannequin that we like stolen from the
If this is
store.
a fake,
Yeah, have you
if
seen
this
Umbrella
is a
Academy?
fake
He's like,
Rusa,
hello, Dolores.
then the Eclax would have some way of getting her out.
We walk into a room and there's just a wall of Rusas.
We are Rusa.
Which one is the real Rusa?
Okay, but gang, your short rest is complete.
I haven't voiced this to any of like the people that actually know Russia. So
And
do I-
Tarina's not good.
who do I trust? How do I?
I am indeed very trustworthy.
I love this. So good.
I'm trying to think of what Solomon would do following this. I'm trying to think what the fuck I would do following this. I know what I would do following this, but that's not correct. So
You just like punch the kid a few times.
Die tree.
See if it turns into snow.
We got a sewer to find.
Indeed. Solomon will just keep it to himself for now, then I guess he'll think about it. At some point he might mention it. But thank you. Thank you for that little tidbit. Hamish? Yes, that's really great.
Alright, so I'm
Thank you,
going to the
Hamish.
sewer. Is
Really
anyone
appreciate
coming with
I'll
me?
join.
Do you think some of us should at least sabotage some of the islands as a backup?
It might be worth looking.
Well, that needs to be Luft
Should we
squad, so
send-
who's going with Luft?
I
Should we
can go with Luft since I've seen one of the weaker ones.
By all means.
Who here is going to need healing and protection the most?
I fear all of us. However.
Perhaps Luft squad will need healing and
I
protection.
think so because
I'll come with for healing purposes.
I've got
The dead, not dead one.
Talon, so. If
I-
Sigmund's
And also,
joining us,
I
yeah.
am tasked with healing
Tywin,
Tywin,
so-
and since it is not technically complete, I must stay by
Tywin's
his
personal
side.
bodyguard. Sigmund's.
And in which case, Torina, would you accompany me to the center of this city? And we shall see if we can find this accursed family.
We shall do our best.
Three-way
It's a
split.
3-party split.
It's a three-way split.
Oh yeah, it is. Center, sewer, tower, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Can I quickly get a quick indication of who's going where? Luft, Calathil,
Nemu.
Nemu are going to one of the towers.
Yeah.
Correct. The weak one first. Is that what
We need a way to communicate. If you find this thing,
I can certainly
Scouts?
provide communication
Yeah, 'cause
amongst
if
ourselves.
She's got sending at will.
I have
okay.
sent it away.
Okay, cool. So if
Who's
but
asking?
you can't
Just
receive,
need to
you
write
can-
your name on my pen pal page.
Oh no. No, thanks.
I'll only be able to communicate with Scout Rats for what, 10 minutes or whatever. So
Yeah,
like,
how many
it-
spell slots have you got?
What?
How many spell
No,
slots?
no, this is a
it's a-
what's called
This is a
primeval
once
awareness.
per day
Yes.
thing,
Okay.
isn't
Yes,
it?
once
I'm
per
inclined
day.
to just stick with Rita,
So who are the groups?
wherever she ends
So we've
up
got
being.
Luft,
Cal,
Cal, Nemu.
Myself,
I have solutions
The
that can
two
either work.
Jordans.
If we find him in the casting of this ritual, I have a solution that will reliably work. If we are too late and we find him with the switch, I have a solution that will unreliably work.
That's good.
Let's go. Like the first is far more concrete than the second. The second is like a dice roll. The first one's like, okay, we've got some time.
Yeah.
Trey, Sigmund,
So that's what I would really. If
With
you,
Rusa, wherever Rusa goes.
yeah, please get Solomon to wherever this
So
thing's
is it a
being
4-party
cast,
split?
and I can pick.
No, just
Well,
three.
Shouldn't
Rusa's
be.
just going to join whatever I think Rusa is going to join, and then Marley is just going with Rusa. So
Okay.
being protective of her.
So
I think Ruse is going to be with us, the bigger group.
I think Rusa's going with the center squad.
I think
Oh,
so,
the center
yeah,
squad? Okay.
which would be Solomon, Tarina.
So Rusa, Marley,
I will
Soul.
leave Calliope with you guys so we can have some kind of communication.
I think
through
that's a
that.
good idea.
Is there
I mean, you
is there
can
a
just
range
put
for
your
that?
name in my
Yeah.
pen pal
What you can
page.
do
Do that.
and because you can't, you
It's like
guys can't willingly
signing
send back
name
to
down.
unless he pings. But what we can
Use
do,
the pencil because I can rub names off.
That makes
Tarina
'Cause
can,
I could-
Tarina can just ping everyone on the list like every 15 minutes. That way,
Oh,
she
every
can-
6
Tywin,
seconds
you're
actually.
the-
Hamish,
Tywin, you're the
I like
one
that will.
to-
I like the idea that you've like
Yeah, I'm saying as in
You've written a
if they ping-
contract
'cause they
in,
can't
like,
respond without
Hamish?
What happens when
Because
Oh,
you
yeah,
send
like
out an email
writing
saying,
an-
how's it
Well,
going?
you
a
get
contract
Cal
in
sent
invisible
How's it
ink,
going?
so
and you get
then
someone to
Tarina
sign a
can-
certain spot, just like in maintain that contact. It's like, oh,
Tarina, we going with
Love the
Solomon.
idea that Tarina
Solomon.
can talk to
Hey,
whatever
Tywin.
she wants.
Yeah.
Oh, now
Are you gonna
Tywin.
add your name to the pen pal page, Tywin? I would much appreciate being able to stay in contact.
Oh God.
Good, as long as I don't
This
have
is
to
literally
sign
that
it.
bit
This is
where
only
like,
because you're
this
going
is
to be with
literally with
Rusa.
Thea's like, oh, by the way, Hamish has been 6th level for a while. And we're like, wait, what did I just sign? Don't do that. Don't do that. You thought.
What's my last name?
Sure, sure.
No,
Sure shot.
No
the
one
real
knows.
last name.
You have a
What's my
real
real
last
last
name?
name?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Henry.
Lexton.
Oh
I
yeah,
have
because
written
it's
somewhere.
I like how you forgot your own last name because no one uses it.
I haven't used it in a while.
It's first I've heard of it. Well,
No,
thank you,
Section.
most dearly, friends.
Boys, that
This is where Tarina assumes that Tywin is also a clone because that's not Tywin's real last name.
What the hell is going on?
Wait a minute, I don't recognize Tywin Lexington. All I know is Tywin Sure Shot, the guy that never misses.
Are you guys
Who the
ready?
fuck is?
Are you guys ready to
Lexington.
go?
I don't know.
Don't be sure
Just
to
to clarify,
check in every
And
half
to make
an
sure I haven't
hour
forgotten
during
anyone.
this operation.
the people
I
that are
would
going to
appreciate it if you-
sabotage.
Where's Luke going?
Oh,
With the-
relax.
the
Yeah,
tower.
tower.
The people the people that are going to go sabotage one of the towers is Luft, Cal, Nemu.
Yes.
Correct? The people that are going to find the sewers.
Yes.
Trey, Sigmund, Tyrant.
Yes.
I'm also giving Calliope
Oh,
to go
Calliope
with
as
them,
well.
so I can talk between the.
Thing is, you would need to know to tune into Calliope's senses, right?
Well, Calliope can also tune into me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Calliope can back you.
Yeah.
Got
And then finally going to the center of the city is Rusa, Mali, Solomon, Trino.
Yes.
Okay.
Solomon's just
Well, with that, we're gonna end the session.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all ready.
We're doing it.
All ready. Big build up. Big session next time.
Next
Whenever
time.
that happens.
Yeah, I didn't say next week specifically, just in case, but hopefully next week. Anyway, thank you all for joining us once again for another stream. This is episode 23,
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
Man, we're getting up there. We can drink. We can. I think I said this weeks ago,
Yeah,
right?
we can go.
We can drink and
We
rent cars
can,
and do a
we can
bunch of shit.
drink.
at some point we'll be considered
First.
independent and we can get Centrelink allowance.
Yay! So, thank you for joining us. We are affiliated with the
$250.
Adelaide Games Club, which is a board game club here at the University of Adelaide. So if you enjoy board games, tabletop games, or just making friends, and you live in Adelaide, come on down to the Hartley building at the University of Adelaide. And we get together every Wednesday, Friday, and sometimes on Sundays. So if you're free on those days, come on down, try out some board games. One such board game that you can try out is
Wingspan.
Wingspan! I love
Try out
Wingspan.
Wingspan, like really, like such a pretty game, such a well-balanced game.
Wingspan looks incredibly boring from everything that it looks like, but it's a lot of fun. It's really pretty.
It's about bird watching.
The components
It's not boring.
are beautiful. Like the eggs in Wingspan are like awesome components. I love them.
They're like the crispy M&M things you get around at Easter, the
Yeah.
speckled
I
eggs.
just, see, that's why they're
Do not
edible.
eat them. They do not taste like it.
Eat speckled eggs instead, because those things are titties. They're really good. They're really good.
Cannot
So
confirm or
thank
deny.
you for joining us. If you want to follow us on social media, you can. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and MySpace as Rev
MySpace.
DND.
No, he specifically did that to fuck us out. He specifically did that.
Rev
I know.
DND.
I've been waiting for that.
Do we
like-
use the Tumblr?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
We do.
I'll
There
make
we go.
LinkedIn.
What
like
about-
We might as well be on MySpace.
Yeah.
What about our 4chan?
Yeah. Well,
What about that?
Yeah.
Reddit? That's
Only
on
fans.
Reddit now,
This
guys.
guy's a D.
Yeah.
with no armor.
Yeah, we have a subreddit.
Single fan.
Turns out it's just flesh ball.
Oh my god. You'd have an AC of 12.
Yeah, post your fan art
No, like, it's just a
to
brain.
r/DiceRevDND.
It's all armor.
Please
Like
go
actual
to
performance
the
like Scrappy Doo.
DDR board and post shit posting. Very funny.
That wasn't an option, that was a threat.
Anyone
Post your
look,
Yeah, we
fan
have
for
art.
our
reference,
own
if
4chan
anyone
board.
puts a post up on our Tumblr, we will say your name on stream.
We will.
Okay, that's like the prize.
Yeah.
No promise of
Fine.
pronouncing it correctly, that's up
Wait,
to us.
what? Can other people post on Tumblr?
If you do something that makes us know,
Dude, guys, if you hack into our Tumblr and post on it,
Hell yeah.
we will give you a shout out.
You can have this
Let us
mic.
And so, also subscribe to this channel because
Yeah.
this channel will give you updates on when the streams are going to be, and it'll tell you in your local time, which is extremely convenient and really great. It'll tell you beforehand, it'll stay in your subscriptions until it happens, and then it'll happen and it'll pop up on your thing. It's really useful. So make sure to subscribe, make sure to click the bell so the notifications go right to your thing so you know extra ahead of time.
Notifications.
We noticed that you did not leave 100 likes, and that's why Romy isn't here. It's all your fault.
Yeah, remember that?
Remember how I said each like is 1% chance that Romy can make it? Yeah,
0%.
How many did we get?
like
I
6.
think, yeah.
6, aha.
And
6% chance that Romy should. Look what happened!
4 of
You
them.
caused this.
She will
No,
only
no.
appear at 100 or more.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week, hopefully. Goodbye!
Bye, guys.